Chapter 176. Inside the elevator, once they were alone, Yu Haiqiang licked his lips and reached out eagerly. The letter? Give it to me. Li Zheng and Shi Yang were utterly confused. The joint letter, the one you organized before. Yu Haiqiang shook his hand, quickly. It's very useful now. The two then realized what he was talking about. Wasn't that matter over long ago? Unable to understand, Shi Yang asked, wasn't it? Weren't you the one who told us not to do it? That was then, this is now. Yu Haiqiang clapped them on the shoulders with grave seriousness. Both of you ranked among the top competitors, we need to fight for it, after all, it's all for national honor. But, teacher Yu. Shi Yang's face contorted, I was ready to fight long ago, weren't you all not supportive? Nonsense, who knew you two would rank so highly back then? Yu Haiqiang's grip on their shoulders tightened. Neither of you wants to miss out on the ICHO opportunity, right? Now, give me the joint letter, don't worry about anything else, we teachers will figure out a way. I don't know, it's not with me. Shi Yang shook his head and turned to face the elevator doors. Teacher Yu, didn't I tell you earlier, before the results are out, it's still reasonable, but doing it after the results are out, even I find it disgusting. Disgusting what? Do you know how important an international gold medal is for a school? Yu Haiqiang argued with frustration on his face, and for you personally, it's even more important. With your skills, as long as you can go to Prague, isn't the gold medal just within your reach? Those prestigious international schools will be rushing to offer you full scholarships. Whatever, the letter's long gone. Shi Yang turned his head away, plus, I've already signed up for guaranteed admission to G University under Dean Zhou. It's pretty good mixing with him. How about you? Yu Haiqiang then turned to Li Zheng, do you have the letter? It's not with me now either, Li Zheng said, it's in my luggage. Strange. Zhou Yi said it's not with him either. Could he be deceiving me? Yu Haiqiang scratched his head frantically, we teachers were wrong before, not standing by you. Now we can really support you, if all else fails, at dinner, could you organize another joint letter? The most up-to-date noves are published on Frugnoelo. Li Zheng and Shi Yang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Luckily, the elevator arrived just in time, and when the doors opened, several teachers were standing outside. Yu Haiqiang couldn't say much more, only mentioning that Sun Liang and Yu Hong also needed them for something, and led the two towards the Jiajing team's room. In the corridor, he picked up another call. Yes, Principal. I'll do my best, I'm looking for a way now. We must get Shi Yang to the ICHO. Okay. Thank you for your concern too. Li Zheng and Shi Yang followed behind, chuckling silently. This was getting a bit disgusting. Soon, they entered Sun Liang's room, where Yu Hong was also present. Both teachers were on their phones, all smiles, apparently spreading good news to everyone. Especially Yu Hong, her face aglow with excitement, her voice a full octave higher than usual, like a white-haired witch casting a spell. Yes, first place. You heard right. First place. Not just the city, the whole country. They won't give out medals until the closing ceremony tomorrow. Donate to the school? Let's not go that far. Sun Liang was also ecstatic, his sly smile hadn't stopped. Hehe, this year our school got 2 golds, G University got 6. The first place was also a student I taught, hehe. Hehehehe, don't ask me to give a lecture, as a champion mentor, how much should I charge? Hehehehe. It took 3 or 4 minutes before the two reluctantly ended their calls. Yu Haiqiang brought up the matter of organizing another joint letter again. Sun Liang and Yu Hong were evidently more cautious than him, not immediately taking a stance upon hearing about it. But they could not withstand Yu Haiqiang's insistence. His thoughts were, successful or not, to stir trouble internally first. The crying baby gets the milk, and currently, there was already a trend for it. Who knows what might happen? After all, the national team list would only be announced after the training camp, there was still plenty of time. The key was, other provinces inevitably had grievances, and at times like these, that joint letter signed by 2/3 of the national finalists could be just the thing to throw back at them. In the midst of this stalemate, Yu Hong pushed Sun Liang forward and freed herself to approach Li Zheng and Shi Yang. Teacher Yu hasn't congratulated you yet, has she? I congratulate you. Very good. Both of you did very well. This year, every member of the Jiajing team did very well. Yu Hong looked at Li Zheng, his face which had always been tense, finally relaxed for the first time in his life. Li Zheng, you are the best student I have ever taught, bar none, even better than Lin Yujing. I also apologize for all my previous prejudices. Someone like you, who has reached this point despite various setbacks and my personal biases. I believe no matter what industry, what subject, you will definitely make it to the end. Thank you for everything you have done for chemistry, which you don't like. Yu Hong bowed his head, feeling somewhat conquered. Or rather, you're awesome, I can't control you anymore, go and wander. That feeling. Upon hearing this, Li Zheng was also encouraged and nodded, you flatter me, studying is my duty. I indeed have no talent in chemistry, your judgment is correct, it is not a prejudice, there is no need to apologize. Yu Hong had been in a great mood, but upon hearing this, his face tightened again instantly. What about you? I praise you and you don't accept it, do you need to be happy only if I scold you? Indeed, that might be true, getting this ranking, no matter how steady I am. I'm a bit carried away. Li Zheng's expression also darkened, with the current situation, what I lack is not praise, but a push, maybe you should scold me a few more times. You. Yu Hong pointed at Li Zheng and struggled to find words, finally bursting out, go find Lin Yujing to scold you. Ah! Li Zheng relaxed instantly, scolding like a stunned pig's foot? That lacks strength. Ha! Shi Yang seemed to catch on to something instantly, and jumped up laughing at Li Zheng, still saying you don't have a girlfriend. Different things. Li Zheng hurriedly explained, do you know Yekukan and Ximen Chui Shui? Do you understand friendship? This topic jumped too quickly, Shi Yang was somewhat slow to react. Alright, don't say anything more. Yu Hong, unable to bear it any longer, pushed Li Zheng away and turned to put his hand on Shi Yang's shoulder. Shi Yang, to be honest, I was really not ready to praise you, because I have always used the champion standards to request from you. Yu Hong tried to keep a straight face, I just want you to be more stable, your theoretical strength clearly doesn't match this ranking. Next training camp, dare to win first place. Of course, teacher Yu. Shi Yang clenched his fists and nodded vigorously, I'm ready to surpass Li Zheng. Very good, that is also a form of respect for Li Zheng. Yu Hong turned to look at Li Zheng, and you? Li Zheng frowned, can I skip the training camp? I knew it. Yu Hong squinted at Li Zheng, the top of the national rankings, giving up the training camp, to put it mildly, our entire Jiajing Chemical Society, our entire Jiajing education system, our entire school, will be seriously warned and criticized, to put it broadly, it's unpatriotic. Are you sure? Li Zheng's voice trembled, then I'll push through. It's not about pushing through. Shi Yang also glared at Li Zheng, if you dare cut corners, I dare to quit the competition, I'm anyway guaranteed a spot. This is really troublesome. Li Zheng scratched his head, this damn competition, never ending, I should have never come. Yu Hong could no longer hold back, pointed at the door, and shouted, both of you, get out. Shi Yang hurriedly explained, it's not my fault, teacher Yu, I really respect chemistry. No, it's for another reason. Yu Hong pushed the two out, meanwhile gesturing towards Yu Haiqiang who was vigorously lobbying behind him, our teacher has matters to discuss, wait outside for a moment. Oh. After sending the two out, Yu Hong firmly closed the door. Outside, Li Zheng and Shi Yang exchanged a knowing look, then both pressed against the crack of the door to eavesdrop. Inside, the room was fraught with tension. Enough. Yu Hong quickly joined the discussion, it's rare that the organizing committee doesn't pursue the matter of the joint letter, they issued us both the champion and the runner-up, let's just leave it be. Should we fight for it, make a fuss and maybe we'll get somewhere. Yu Haiqiang, although annoyed, still dared not offend Yu Hong and asked obsequiously, besides, Mr. Yu, don't you want to bring back an ICHO gold medal for Lake Ying? I do, but I also have pride, Yu Hong retorted, like Shi Yang said, we should have made a fuss before the test, making a fuss now after the results are out, isn't it just making our Jiajing a laughingstock to the whole country? You're saying that now, but when Shi Yang wanted to make a fuss before, didn't you disagree, Mr. Yu? Yu Haiqiang argued. Yes, and that's why I disagree now as well. Yu Hong did not look at him but only turned his head to look out the window, I have never made a fuss in my life, and it's not worth starting now over this. But think again. Yu Haiqiang pleaded, the skills of Li Zheng and Shi Yang are very close, and both are absolutely capable of winning gold, but there's only one spot, only one gold medal, either our city first school takes it back, or you guys at Lake Ying take it back, each side has its own difficulties, why cause this trouble? Let's think of a way to secure 2 spots, 2 guaranteed gold medals, why not try? Yu Hong chuckled, based on what you're saying, Xiongnan should have won hundreds of gold medals by now, who are they supposed to talk to? Yes, but this year is special, isn't there that joint letter? Plus, we lost the team championship last year, Yu Haiqiang gestured with his hand, we have both public opinion and moral high ground, just as long as your wife is agreeable. Yu Hong grimaced, if I can't handle such a trivial matter, what's the point of bringing him into it? It is also your honor after all. And we could also try to get support from Dean Zhou. Enough, I won't participate in this matter at all. Yu Haiqiang, feeling helpless, then turned to look at Sun Liang, what do you say, teacher Sun? Sun Liang grinned sleazily, his leer oddly flirtatious. Me? I couldn't say a thing. One from City First School, one from Lake Ying. What does it have to do with old Sun? All right, Sun Liang chuckled and came closer to mediate, let's not talk about anything else. I just want to ask, where is the joint letter? I guess it's in Zhou Yi's hands, Yu Haiqiang nodded, we'll go ask him together in a bit. Maybe we should forget about this. Sun Liang said hesitantly, even if you really want to go through with it, there's no need to rush. We can think it over long term. It is possible to think over it long term, but now is indeed a critical moment, Yu Haiqiang said, unable to contain his impatience, that joint letter needs to be used now. 2/3 of the students across the country have signed it. It's in black and white, they won't be able to back out, right? Sun Liang quickly walked a few steps to join Yu Hong, looking out the window together, hey, look at this scenery in Lu Dong, it's pretty good too. Yu Haiqiang was still not giving up and pressed on, if we really can't find the letter, let Shi Yang and Li Zheng write another one tonight. Absurd. Yu Hong burst out angrily and turned to leave, you can do what you want, but don't drag our Li Zheng into this. Yu Hong hurried to the door, and upon opening it, confronted 2 people standing by the wall. It's all right now. You guys go play, Yu Hong waved them off and was about to leave, then turned back to remind them, your reputation is very important for your future. I advise you not to get involved in this anymore. If you're really in doubt, you can consult Dean Zhou. Don't worry, Teacher Yu, we won't mess with it anymore, Li Zheng nodded, and I hope that Teacher Yu stops it here. Yes, don't bother with him anymore, Yu Hong casually looked Li Zheng over. Hurry up and sign to collect your scores, and find a place to get a haircut and take care of your beard too. They're going to interview you at the closing ceremony tomorrow. With your current unkempt appearance, I'm afraid you might set a bad example for students nationwide who aspire to chemistry. Li Zheng was displeased when he heard this. He personally quite liked his slightly stubbled, melancholic style. For a simple reason. His aspiration for art had now surpassed his interest in chemistry. Initially, Li Zheng did feel inferior because of his looks and envied those with buzz cuts and glasses for their good academic performance. But now, times had changed. He was the true academic champion. It was time to declare war on the old aesthetic standards. Tomorrow, I, Li Zheng, am going to redefine what look truly signifies good academic performance. Shi Yang, however, lacked Li Zheng's realization, he just adjusted his glasses and tried to look cool as he asked, how about me, Teacher Yu? Does my look work on camera? Eat less, that's better than anything. Li Zheng and Shi Yang returned to the auditorium, where there were far fewer people, but the key players from the provincial teams had not left. Upon their return, they approached them to inquire about the joint letter. Seeing this outcome, their team leaders had panicked, fearing that Shi Yang and Li Zheng might produce the letter and create issues again. Before, it was just students causing trouble, which naturally wouldn't have amounted to much. But now, teachers from Jiajing, even Zhou Yi, were likely to stand by them, which could complicate things greatly. Hence, the provincial teams sent students to probe the situation. Li Zheng and Shi Yang truthfully explained the real situation, stating that this matter was already past. As for Yu Haiqiang, they really couldn't do much about him. This whole big scheme had made Li Zheng quite sick. This type of social interaction based on interests, better to avoid it in the future. No more coddling Shibaoer. After all, school was better. He had only left school a few days ago, yet Li Zheng was already homesick. He missed Zhang Xiao's perfume, Lin Yujing's spiky hair, Lu Xin's greasiness, Zhang Qinghua's dandruff, Qiao Bixia's pampering, and teacher Menxi's towel. Even just seeing Tang's Haifei get angry was terrific. Reminiscing about all these, Li Zheng finally reached the front of the line to sign his name. Coincidentally, the person in charge of the table was that rude teacher they had encountered before. Both of them didn't even look at each other. The man simply slid the paper over and pointed to where to sign. Li Zheng wasn't really interested in confronting him, but he was genuinely curious. So, teacher, where did I lose that 0.5 points? Cough. The teacher turned his head away. The scores have been adjusted already, please ask your team leader about the specifics. Oh. Li Zheng didn't say anything more and signed his name. The teacher was somewhat surprised, having expected Li Zheng to argue a bit, but didn't expect him to be so compliant this time. After Li Zheng had signed, the teacher finally said, "Do you need me to tell you verbally? After all, we've all seen your test paper." Okay, Li Zheng nodded. For the last part of question 6, there was a section that needed explaining the principle. The marking requirement was to elaborate on 3 main reasons, but you provided 6, including one that is still a hypothesis and hasn't been fully accepted by the mainstream yet. I see. Li Zheng picked up his report card and sighed, I've been reading too many foreign language textbooks these days, showing off too much. I'll be careful next time. Well, this. The male teacher pursed his lips and said, actually, having a pioneering spirit is good, it's just that the essence of the competition is still a selection exam, and giving full marks is still, quite reluctant. Yes, I understand, Li Zheng nodded. When facing an exam, one should adopt an exam-oriented attitude, just as one must write a Chinese composition without any controversy. It's the same with chemistry exams. Thank you, teacher, I've improved a bit more. Ah, okay. The male teacher ran out of steam too, only smiling and saying, also, your drawings were good. All the teachers in our marking group highly praised them. Oh? Then, is there any room for improvement in my drawing skills? You're enough. Next. By the time Li Zheng and Shi Yang left, Ou Xingzhou and Wu Shu had just arrived, not knowing if they were really calm or just addicted to playing chess. They were both very satisfied with their scores from the group of over 50 participants. As they collected their report cards and walked out, Ou Xingzhou couldn't help but get excited again. Perfect. He lifted his glasses and smiled, just right to earn enough for Dragon Ball, without having to go to the training camp, and a rank higher than someone else. That's so boring. Wu Shu turned his head and cursed, I deliberately didn't score higher to avoid the training camp. Normally, I should have scored 3 points higher. Oh really? I intentionally lowered mine by 4 points. I did 5 points. I did 10 points. Although they were just bragging, Li Zheng took them seriously. Hey! Li Zheng swallowed, is the training camp that terrible that you guys are competing like this? It's terrifying. Wu Shu looked up, recalling his days in physics competitions, half a month, doing nothing but solving and discussing problems non-stop, over 10 hours a day. I could survive the physics training, but chemistry. I might go mad. Chills ran down Li Zheng's entire body as he listened. Can't I, just take the final exam? Ha, you should tell that to Yu Hong. That night, Li Zheng's phone wouldn't stop ringing, people from all over were sending congratulations, and he could only reply with a bunch of thanks. The only place where he expressed his true feelings was in the small WeChat group for the basketball 6-man team. Li Zheng, this is terrifying. Now whenever I see a chemistry problem, I feel like throwing up. Li Zheng, but I still have to stay here for half a month. I want to escape. Li Zheng, will I end up with a split personality, and develop a chemistry persona? Unexpectedly, the first one to respond to him was her. Lin Yujing. Li Zheng, why are you like this? Don't you have any sympathy? Lin Yujing, PSHT. Served you right. Li Zheng, what did I do to bother you? Lin Yujing, karma. Fierce. Su Mensi, this. If I remember correctly, you forced Jing Jing to participate in the prelims of chem competitions, student Li. Li Zheng. Su Mensi, Can you feel now how Jing felt when solving chemistry problems? Li Zheng, it's not the same, I've done thousands of problems until I felt nauseous. Don't tell me Lin Yujing, doing a few dozen problems, could realize the level of doing thousands. Wait, is it really like that? Zhang Qinghua, it's exactly like that. Lu Xian, it's exactly like that. Qiao Bixia, it's exactly like that. Su Mensi, then I'll just go with the flow too. Zhang Xiok, enough. Protect the master, no bullying the master. Lin Yujing, disruption wave protective barrier failure. Zhang Xiok, ah. I can't do it anymore, master. I'm going to soothe Jing. Master, stay strong and carry on. Lin Yujing. When Li Zheng spoke again, no one paid attention to him anymore. Damn, this group seems to have way too much fun at school. I've got to figure out a way to escape. Chapter 177. Compared to the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony was at least 20 times more grandiose. The ceremony was held in the grandest art gallery in Jinan City. Because of his high ranking, Li Zheng was seated in the second row. In front of him were numerous special guests from the Chemical Society. Li Zheng initially wanted to sleep through it, but after glancing at the closing ceremony program booklet, he perked up. It was mainly the guest list that caught his attention, featuring a shining name. Ms. Su Yuyu, China's first Nobel laureate in medicine. Although it was a prize in medicine, her life's research on artemisinine was essentially a colorless crystalline substance with the molecular formula C15H22O5. A chemistry problem. For this reason, the Chemical Society went to great lengths to invite the over 80-year-old Ms. Su, who could guide aspiring juniors as well as raise the profile of the event. Because of her arrival, Li Zheng did not doze off and after a long wait, finally got to hear Ms. Su's speech. Even in her advanced years, her speech was neither rigid nor boring, and she chose a timely and interesting topic. The chemistry in Chinese medicine. The contents of the speech were not complicated. Essentially, it posited Chinese medicine as a great treasure trove, one that should be earnestly explored. This was not just a matter of medicine, but also of chemistry. The artemisinine she discovered was just a starting point. She hoped that among the students present, those aspiring to be chemists would uncover even more results that benefit humanity from this treasure trove. After the speech, the applause was unprecedentedly enthusiastic. No doubt some students were ignited with the determination to pursue this path. At such times, why not crack a chemical institute cold joke to ease the shock? When competing in chem competitions, my dream is to join the Evolution Institute and win a Nobel Prize. After successfully joining the Chemical Institute, life in the institute is easy, I just think about how to transfer departments every day. After all, to achieve accomplishments like Ms. Su's, you need not only high skill and good luck, but also a formidable resolve to persist to the very end. Following some more uneventful proceedings, the award recognition segment finally arrived. As one of the top 5, Li Zheng and Shi Yang were among the first to go on stage to receive their awards. In previous years, this highest honor would be presented by a leader from the Chemical Society. But today, since Ms. Su was present, they wouldn't let her leave without presenting an award. She herself, a kind-hearted elderly scientist, then ascended the stage to the music, with ushers guiding her, all the way to Li Zheng who was standing in the center. Li Zheng had already straightened up. Not angry nor intimidating. Utterly humble. Ms. Su, with a smile, picked up the medal strap. Li Zheng also bowed slightly, accepting the award. Then, Ms. Su and Li Zheng shook hands lightly, and she patted his shoulder, "Keep it up." Before Li Zheng could nod, his eyes suddenly widened. Academic fortune detected. Su Yuyu, 39. Learning cap, 13. Learning in progress. Plus 0.1. This. Li Zheng gripped Ms. Su's hand tightly. How could he bear to let go? He must pass on the torch. Ms. Su tried to pull her hand away twice without success, and at this point, she became somewhat puzzled. "Young man. Sorry." Li Zheng guiltily released her hand, but still couldn't bear to just leave it there, and insistently asked, "After you finish presenting the awards, will you be leaving immediately? I wish to consult with you a little more. I have to go, there are other arrangements for later." Ms. Su didn't get angry, her other hand also patting the back of Li Zheng's hand. "It's okay, you can ask now." Li Zheng was extremely panicked. Ask a question to a Nobel laureate. Damn, that's too sudden. What should I ask? In the midst of extreme panic, Li Zheng had no choice but to kick his thought process into overdrive. He thought through every chemistry question related to pharmacology that he could think of. For a solid 6 seconds. Of course, he also took the opportunity to take a few breaths for those 6 seconds. In the end, he still couldn't think of anything. But he couldn't just keep stalling. No choice but to forge ahead with a conversation. I've noticed that when you describe traditional Chinese medicine, you consistently use the word treasury, Li Zheng said, feigning confidence, which suggests that this body of knowledge is static and difficult to develop further. What we can do is to use tools, including chemistry, to discover what we can piece by piece. Can I understand it that way? Miss Su obviously hadn't considered this question. She paused to ponder after being taken aback for a moment, then replied, I wouldn't be certain about that. What I can affirm is that in the realm of traditional Chinese medicine, there's still a great deal of work to be done chemically. Then, could you enlighten me on the branch known as phytochemistry? Miss Su thought for a moment. Back then, in order to combat malaria, we conducted experimental research on more than 200 Chinese medicines. After over 380 failures, we finally succeeded in extracting artemisinin. To use a somewhat imprecise analogy, each disease is like a lock, and if we try hard enough, we will eventually find the key to unlock it. Many of these keys are hidden in the treasury of traditional Chinese medicine. Whether we can find them depends largely on determination and perseverance. Li Zheng listened with fervent admiration. Although traditional Chinese medicine has many controversies, the path Miss Su took is undoubtedly the most righteous and uncontentious one. One last small question about. Another minute went by. The very last tiny question, regarding. And another minute passed. This time, Li Zheng truly struggled to keep up. After 3 minutes, he couldn't bear it any longer and swallowed back his endless questions. Despite receiving many odd looks, it was still worth it. Academic Fortune, 4958. It wasn't easy, but some knowledge was finally passed on. Gaining 9 out of 13 possible points was no small feat. After learning from Shi Yang, Wu Shu, and Miss Su, Li Zheng's academic fortune finally broke through 50. Come to think of it, even though Miss Su is a prominent figure with 39 points in academic fortune, the upper limit of what she could learn was no more than 13 points after all. Even such a mystical presence finds it increasingly difficult to learn as they progress. On the other side, even as Miss Su went on to present awards to others, she kept glancing back at Li Zheng from time to time. There was a mix of puzzlement and recognition in her look. As a national champion. In this way, he had not let anyone down. Having completed the award presentation for the top 5, Miss Su had to leave early and discreetly due to another meeting. With that, Li Zheng's last hopes for this chem competition were gone. What awaited him was a half-month-long hell of chemistry problems. Afterward, groups of 10 went up to receive their awards in turn. After watching 2 groups, Li Zheng completely lost his energy and fell asleep with his gold medal around his neck. He didn't know how much time had passed when he was awakened and pulled to the front, surrounded by reporters and cameras. At this point, Li Zheng appeared even more melancholic than the day before, resembling somewhat the Louis Koo version of Yang Guo from the Return of the Condor heroes in his later years. In short, he looked deeply dispirited. Chapter 178. Reporter A, Li Zheng, can you try to keep a smile? Li Zheng, I'm already trying. Reporter A, well, do you have anything you'd like to say? Li Zheng, I've thought about it seriously, everything I want to say, I can't say. Reporter A. Reporter B, if you can't, I'll take over. This, Li Zheng, is there anyone you'd like to thank? Li Zheng, my parents, classmates, teachers, the chemical society, the country, oh no. Let me rearrange that, put the country first. Reporter B. Reporter C, is there anyone in particular you'd like to thank? Li Zheng, Su Mensi. Reporter C, who is she? Li Zheng, a classmate. Reporter C, did anything happen between you two? Li Zheng, I'm here to talk about studying because the teacher said so. Reporter C. Reporter D, so Li Zheng, do you have any study tips to share with other students? Li Zheng, don't participate in competitions for subjects you don't like. Reporter D, why? Li Zheng, sorry, we've reached the things I want to say but can't say section again. Reporter D. Reporter E, let me try. Li Zheng, what exactly did you and Ms. Su Yu talk about on stage? Li Zheng, too much to say, you wouldn't understand. Reporter E, you, just try us, maybe we'll understand. Li Zheng, there's this alkaloid called nicotamarin A, it has many rings, let me demonstrate for you. Reporter E, all right. You guys ask, I'm done. In the end, it was Yu Hong who stepped in, took Li Zheng away, and answered those repetitive questions for him. In such a chaotic and painful atmosphere, Li Zheng's journey through the chem competitions hadn't ended. It hadn't even reached a third. Damn it, when will this ever end? Maybe, it really was retribution. Never again would he force anyone to study. That afternoon, Li Zheng tearfully bid farewell to the Jiajing team. Worth mentioning is that Ou Xingzhou gave Li Zheng a paper in the end. It was the organic cyclization problem that Zhou Yi had specifically designed to stump him during the Jiajing team's training. Ou Xingzhou hadn't solved it either, despite spending so much time, but at least he had written down a lot of the process. Zhou Yi was too busy, and it wasn't convenient for Ou Xingzhou to disturb him, so he passed it on to Li Zheng just before leaving. And so, one by one, the provincial team's vehicles drifted away. In the end, Li Zheng could only hang his head low and, together with Shi Yang and 38 other buzzcut males, return to the hotel. December 8, the terrifying national team training kicked off immediately. Just as Wu Shu had said, this was a hell of problems. It was as if you were doing something to the most thrilling part, yet not allowed to stop, forced to continue, with the intensity increasing, making you do it for 3 times as long. Under such intensity, even the most wonderful things would be destroyed. And moreover, there were 40 young men, doing chemistry problems from morning to night, without a break. Every now and then, a teacher would come to teach you about cyclization. Who could stand it? The only one who could save Li Zheng was Fat Study Sister Dut. She would refresh by fate, bring new paper and brushes, and guide Li Zheng in composition and shading. Those sleepless nights were only bearable through these nap time drawings. Li Zheng didn't even know how he had made it through the first week. All he remembered was that the teacher had said they had the afternoon off. Yet, brainwashed by chemistry, he just sat idly in his room, completely clueless about what to do. All because of chemistry hell's number 1 demon, Zhou Yi. Ringmaster Cheng Huan, Zhou Yi, not only prohibited Li Zheng from doing physics problems but forced him to focus all his energy on chemistry. He even colluded with the hotel business center, forbidding Li Zheng from touching any printing services. The physics textbooks and practice problems he ordered online were intercepted by the front desk. Chemistry, only chemistry. Devils, all those who do chemistry are devils. Just as Li Zheng was on the verge of collapse, suddenly, the sound of a basketball bouncing echoed through the hallways. Right after, the doorbell rang. Without thinking, Li Zheng rushed to the door and swiftly opened it. The visitor was Wei Dongyang, accompanied by several bigwigs from Xiongnan and Xiangbei. Play ball, coming or not? Wei Dongyang spun the ball on his left index finger, and it actually stayed spinning for 3 seconds before it dropped. Ah! Li Zheng's eyes bulged, and he yelled out, coming. Release, he needed to release. Hey, really not afraid of dying? Wei Dongyang wiped his nose and laughed, us boys play rough, don't get yourself hurt. Hit me all you want, if I die, so be it. Li Zheng's eyes glittered as he quickly went back inside to change into sportswear and basketball shoes. Where's Shi Yang? Wei Dongyang asked, looking up. He's hooked up with teacher Guan, stewing in the laboratory. As Li Zheng spoke, he trembled slightly, it's too scary. I never want to smell the lab again. Ho! Wei Dongyang looked around and laughed, he'll soon be scared of the basketball court's smell. The basketball friends around also chuckled along. It's time to properly teach that nerd a lesson. Hates chemistry but still won the championship, watch how I deal with you. Since Li Zheng is here, should we also call over that tall guy from Yuedong? Why not just call everyone who can play? Yeah, let's all gang up on Li Zheng, haha. 10 minutes later, at the hotel's backyard basketball court, the crew cut ballers gathered together. It naturally turned into a North versus South showdown. The northern team, consisting of Li Zheng, Jiabei crew cut, Northeast crew cut, Interferes crew cut, and Liudong crew cut. The southern team, led by Wei Dongyang, included Xiangbei Crew Cut, Yuedong Crew Cut, Zhejiang Crew Cut, and Jiangsu Crew Cut. To avoid regional conflicts, the northern team dubbed themselves the Salty Team, and the southerners became the Sweet Team by default. Both sides also had 3 to 4 substitute crew cuts waiting on the sidelines. The loser's punishment was to eat tofu pudding in the flavor of the other team's region. It was truly a battle for the dignity of taste. The match was about to start. Aside from Li Zheng, all crew cuts began to rub their glasses in unison. Just as the ball was about to be tipped off, the distant sound of a luggage suitcase being dragged came into earshot. Everyone put on their glasses and turned their heads. Whoa! It's a girl. In this god-forsaken place, a girl finally appeared. And not just any girl, but a particularly lively and cute one. With her hair done in a playful slanted braid, her face exuded vitality. Her upper body was covered with a short white down jacket. And on the lower half, a medium short skirt with boots and black stockings. Not fearing the cold at all. Good, good, being unafraid of the cold is great. Not only that, but she also had a mischievous smile on her face, staring straight over at the basketball court. As if she had just stepped out of a two-dimensional space. At this moment, all glasses were on the brink of shattering. Who she was, what she was here for, it didn't matter anymore. Quick, start the game. Wei Dongyang roared with a rush of adrenaline, Sweet Team must win. Tomorrow, you're all adding sugar for me. You little brother, only know how to talk trash. The Salty Team's leading center from Lu Dong bellowed, tomorrow I'll personally add the salty brine for you, I'll choke you with it. Under this dignified shouting, both sides took up their positions. Of course, they couldn't help but steal glances at the girl with the suitcase. Chapter 179. Ajibei Buzzcut dribbled the ball down to the baseline, head low. When he looked up, he saw Li Zheng, restless and itching for action, just a stone's throw away. Although he really didn't want to pass the ball to Li Zheng, they were already too close. If he didn't pass it to Li Zheng soon, he might just come over and take it. The Jibei local had no choice but to nervously hand the ball off to Li Zheng. As soon as Li Zheng got the ball. Well, to hell with it. The game? Victory? I'm just here to have a blast. Before his teammates could even react, he was already charging toward the opponent's half like a wild donkey, ball in hand. Real basketball players don't need to look at shots or anything, they only need to watch 2 seconds of ball handling to judge someone's skills. Therefore, ordinary idols trying to craft an image with likes playing basketball are bound to be cussed out by the hardcore ballers until they never dare touch a basketball again. And now, Li Zheng's aggressive drive not only featured graceful form and sexy movements but also an explosive force. It caused the Sweet Team to panic. This is bad. This guy can really play. On a normal day, it wouldn't be a problem for Li Zheng to break through to the inside alone from miles away. But now, how could the members of the Sweet Team, who hadn't seen a girl in a long time, afford to embarrass themselves in front of such an adorable sister? In an instant, several of them, like a pack of wolves, pounced on Li Zheng one after another. However, at a good 3 to 4 meters away from the three-point line, Li Zheng jumped straight up. Basketball high above his head, eyes wide with focus, he shot with confidence. Whoosh! The ball whistled through the air, flying over the buzz cuts. This ultra-long three-pointer was not only elegant but also domineering. The flustered Sweet Team members came to a stiff halt, looked up, and watched the basketball carve a huge arc over their heads. Then, there was a loud thump as it hit the ground. Air ball. It missed the basket by a good half-meter or more. Didn't even graze it. It went straight out of bounds. Li Zheng, with an air of confidence, blew a stray lock of hair from his face, turned around with a swagger, and jogged back to his own half of the court, got a bit carried away, sorry. Leading with Wei Dongyang, everyone burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, he almost had me fooled. I was this close to believing it. You're done for, get ready to eat sweet tofu brain. Just as they were enjoying their banter, the exuberant girl on the sidelines suddenly dropped her luggage, grabbed a bottle of drink, and dashed onto the basketball court, running straight to Li Zheng with a wide smile, holding out the drink with both hands. Master, have some water. Suddenly, including the Salty Team, all the buzz cuts went weak at the knees. Their mocking expressions instantly froze. And then slowly, bit by bit, sank. Their pride was deflated forever. Li Zheng looked at the girl and also had a moment, Xiok. Ha ha ha. Zhang Xiok reached up to touzle Li Zheng's disheveled hair, look at you, what a mess you are. See, I'm the one who cares for you. I even brought you supplies. Aren't you going to praise me? Praise. Li Zheng suddenly lit up and immediately turned to shout, you guys play, my classmate is here. After speaking, he walked to the sidelines with Zhang Xiok. No one on the court responded to him. They thought they were watching a joke. Turns out they were the joke. They laughed until they cried. Such a cute girl. Traveled from afar. And she's his classmate. Classmate. Li Zheng and Xiok reached the sidelines, not having seen each other for days, naturally overjoyed. Of course, given the current situation, probably even if Xiao Bixia had shown up, there would be cause for joy. You didn't need to bring anything, your company is enough, Li Zheng said, eyeing Zhang Xiok's luggage the moment she arrived. Isn't it because I feel sorry for you? Zhang Xiok bent down, leaned in close, and scrutinized Li Zheng, say, your aura has changed, who's been picking on you, that's so sad. Everyone's been picking on me. Li Zheng was immediately overcome with sorrow and hung his head, they won't let me work on physics problems, won't let me read comics, won't let me rest, they only allow chemistry, if it weren't for art keeping me sane, I probably would have had a split personality by now. Don't cry, master will give you a pat-pat. Zhang Xiok spread her arms and gave Li Zheng a motherly air hug from a distance. What's a pat-pat? Hey, it's just like this, pretending to give a hug, that's the way to pat. Oh, then pat-pat. Li Zheng also gave an air hug to Xiok, and although there was no actual contact, he still felt an especially rich bond of fellowship between master and disciple as if he had absorbed some of Xiok's vitality. Zhang Xiok skipped forward, clasped her hands behind her back, and asked with a giggle, feeling better now? Yeah, much better. Li Zheng took a deep breath, finally regaining some of his vitality, and said while pulling his suitcase, let's go, to my room and talk. Zhang Xiok quickly gave Li Zheng a punch on the back, keep your voice down, it could be misunderstood. And so, in the assertive observance of a dozen buzzcut boys, the two of them walked away with laughter and playfulness, patting each other. Thump. The basketball in Wei Dongjiang's hands dropped to the ground. Thump thump. Thump thump thump. In half a minute, the dozen buzzcuts all stared in one direction in silent resignation, not a word spoken amongst them. It was a Lu Dong buzzcut who broke the silence first. Salty team, brings on a substitute. A few substitutes didn't budge. The game seemed to have lost all meaning. God damn it! Wei Dongyang squatted on the spot, clutching his head, why? Seeing his state, the resolve of all the buzzcuts on the court disappeared. Not just basketball had lost its meaning. The contract with G University's elite in their hands, what meaning did it have now? We agreed to devote our youth to chemistry. Li Zheng, this asshole! This asshole! Finally, one buzzcut pounded the basketball hoop and cried out, we can't let this asshole go to Prague. Suddenly, there was a chorus of agreement. God damn it, we can't lose again. Screw playing basketball, let's study. Let's find Shi Yang, go. Li Zheng was clueless about all this. Although he was very reluctant. He had inadvertently boosted our country's overall level of chemistry. Li Zheng and Zhang Xiok walked back to the lobby, replenishing quite a bit of vitality with their banter and laughter. Zhang Xiok had originally planned to secretly rally everyone to come and rejuvenate Li Zheng during the weekend. But Lin Yujing and Zhang Qinghua were preparing for a physics competition, Su Menxi and Xiao Bixia were preparing for the college entrance examination, leaving only Lu Xin to call upon. Although Zhang Xiok had no objections to Lu Xin, she just couldn't convince herself to travel to Lu Dong with only him for company. In the end, she had no choice but to bring her mother along. Mother K was a thoughtful person, too. Before setting off, she had specially informed old Li and took the opportunity to bring along some clothes for Li Zheng to change into. How could there be such good people? In the hotel lobby, Li Zheng saw Mother K, who had just finished checking in and gotten her room card. On the surface, she appeared to be a mature and thoughtful version of Zhang Xiok, turning vitality into charm. But a closer look revealed. She was a fashion maestro. For this trip, Mother K had chosen a cool, leather-themed style. A black cropped leather jacket, high-top denim-style leather boots, and a pair of large sunglasses. The finishing touch was that she was wearing a light grey pullover under the leather jacket. Two things that should have been entirely mismatched came together to create a cool aura. But Mother K felt quite the opposite upon seeing Li Zhang looking so dispirited. She only had two words in mind: want to cry. Xiok wanted to come and visit you. I was worried about interrupting your training. Mother K took off her sunglasses, looked at Li Zhang with full sympathy. Who bullied you? Did you tell your family? No, just did too many problems. Although it was his first meeting with Mother K, Li Zhang felt a warm familiarity. Thanks for coming all this way, Auntie. It's nothing. I happen to have a distributor here on the way. Mother K then passed a room card to her daughter and patted her on the back, saying, you go ahead and take your things to Li Zhang's room. Look at the time, I'll take you guys out to eat soon. Got it, you go on. Don't interfere with us. Zhang Xiok pushed her mother to the side, urging her away. All right, you're ungrateful, Mother K chuckled, offering no resistance and getting pushed away. Then she remembered to turn back and say, you guys can play in the hotel too, just give them this room number, no need to say anything else, but at least Li Zhang you should get your hair cut. Thank you, Auntie. Zhang Xiok shooed her mother away and, after pushing Li Zhang quickly into the elevator, finally breathed a sigh of relief. Your mother is really nice, Li Zhang said thoughtfully. I wanted to exchange some fashion tips with her. Why rush off like that? Don't you think it's weird? Zhang Xiok crossed her arms and cocked her head. Why is she so nice to you? It's strange. It's probably because she sat at the same table as my dad during the parent-teacher conference, Li Zhang pondered. A tiger doesn't father a dog, old Li has high EQ. He must have formed a good bond with your mom at that time. Stop it, that's even weirder, Zhang Xiok objected. With a ding, the elevator reached the floor. The two of them walked to Li Zhang's room door, only to find that it was ajar, undoubtedly because Shi Yang had returned. As they stepped inside, Shi Yang started shouting, Ha! Li Zhang, did you sneak out to hit on some girls during the afternoon break? Before Li Zhang could respond, Shi Yang poked his head out from around the corner with a lecherous wag of his eyebrows. You don't call me for picking up chicks. Damn it! Damn it! When Shi Yang saw Zhang Xiok, his eyebrows froze at their highest arch. His mouth couldn't even close anymore. His face began to visibly contort. Ah! In the end, he let out a timid squeak like a little chick and shrank back. Li Zhang glanced back at Zhang Xiok. The latter already had a disgusted look on her face, twisting her mouth in a couldn't-care-less manner. This disdainful expression undoubtedly sentenced Shi Yang to death. It was so typical of Shi Yang to instantly max out someone's dislike for him upon first meeting. Li Zhang strenuously dragged his suitcase inside and, carrying the awkwardness, forcefully introduced, "This is my classmate, here to bring me clothes. This one is City First School's chemistry whiz." Shi Yang sat in front of the bed, not daring to make eye contact with Zhang Xiok the entire time. But even so, her cute little face and adorably dressed appearance were deeply imprinted in his mind. Without a doubt. This must be Lin Yujing. My god, she's in the city's top 10 for chemistry and still so adorable. I must get to know her well. Even though that was his thought, Shi Yang still didn't dare to look at her, just bent over, tying his shoes while trying to sound cool. Hello, I'm Shi Yang, aiming to be the ICO world champion, humph. This self-introduction instantly lowered Zhang Xiok's impression of him another notch. Zhang Xiok simply turned her head away, hands behind her back, and barely let out an hum without even telling him her name. In this excruciating awkwardness, Li Zhang put down the suitcase and, while pulling on the straps, said to Shi Yang, "You rest, we'll leave as soon as we drop off these things." I should step out for a bit." Shi Yang swallowed hard, walking past Zhang Xiok, but his eyes involuntarily flicked down, glancing at her long-stockinged legs. Zhang Xiok took a wary half-step back. "All right, you go out then." Shi Yang shivered, wiped his face, and walked out feeling wronged. He definitely couldn't resist taking a look. With you dressed like that, who could stand it? Wait a moment. Li Zhang suddenly raised his hand. Oh. Shi Yang turned back like a manly man. No doubt about it, being a good brother meant leaving me a chance when picking up girls, right? Get a bottle of water. Li Zhang picked up a bottle of mineral water from the table and threw it to Shi Yang. Go play ball in the backyard. Don't wait for me for dinner. Shi Yang shakily received the mineral water, Looking at Li Zheng, he clenched his teeth. It's all fake, all of it. The senior sister, the cute girl, all of it. It's all fake, you were never going to include me in your fun. They're all surface-level brothers, all made of plastic. And even though Shi Yang's heart ached bitterly, he could only turn and run away recklessly. In his world, perhaps nothing was more frustrating and painful than giving up the room for a brother. It was bad enough as it was, but as Shi Yang took a couple of steps out the door, he heard a loud bam. The door was shut firmly. Just as he turned his head back, he saw the "Do Not Disturb" light come on. This scene was truly the icing on the cake. Way to go, Li Zheng. You and Lin Yujing, are you really in such a hurry? She's supposedly the top 10 cutest girl in chemistry in the entire city. Damn it. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I'll tell the teacher. Inside the room, after Zhang Xiaoke slammed the door shut with force, she was still angry. What kind of roommate do you have? So disgusting. Shi Baoer is just low on EQ and doesn't know how to conceal his desires, that's all, Li Zheng said. That doesn't mean he should look at someone's legs first. Zhang Xiaoke stood with her hands on her hips, complaining. True as that may be, with you being so adorable. Li Zheng coughed and said, I'm also trying really hard to restrain myself from looking down. Oh. Zhang Xiaoke sat down at the foot of the bed, arching an eyebrow. So master, you have desires too. Li Zheng's face became anxious. Zhang Xiaoke was visibly amused, swinging her legs with glee. Haha, I'm not stopping you from looking. Enough. Li Zheng looked down and cursed, that's a double standard. Why is it perverted when Shi Baoer looks, but okay for me to look anytime, if not because I'm handsome? You. Watching Zhang Xiaoke get grossed out, Li Zheng finally felt a bit better. At last, licking his lips, he opened the suitcase. Wow! Golden, epic-level supplies. Sci-Fi World 2018 Bound Edition. 2 big stacks of Volleyball Junior comics. 2 big stacks of physics competition textbooks and practice exercises. 2 packs of spare clothes. A brand new set of art supplies. The most crucial thing. And a pair of slippers. The paper slippers from the hotel can go die. Now I've come back to life. Li Zheng stroked those books, gasping for breath as he looked up. Tell me, what do you want? Anything, as long as I have it, I can give it to you. After a moment of shock, Zhang Xiaoke hopped into the bathroom. I'll use the restroom first. 2 minutes later, by the time Zhang Xiaoke came out after tidying up, Li Zheng had already transferred everything from the suitcase and was opening the bag with clothes. Wait! Zhang Xiaoke jumped in surprise again. But she was too late. At that moment, Li Zheng had already pulled out a pair of yellow-bottomed, black-dotted cotton briefs with a Pikachu head on them. On closer inspection, it turned out that the head, along with the 2 long ears on either side, perfectly formed the entirety of the briefs. Do I have such a thing? Li Zheng dumbfoundedly looked down at the bag of clothes. Wow! A new world! Even Li Zheng blushed, suddenly flustered. Before he could put it down and apologize, Zhang Xiaoke had already charged and bumped into him. Make me forget. Li Zheng was knocked over onto the bed, not realizing that Zhang Xiaoke could muster such strength. As she collided, Zhang Xiaoke also performed a swift move, snatching back Pikachu and then speedily stuffed it back into the bag, tying it up and shoving it back into the suitcase in no time. Afterward, there was only silence. Zhang Xiaoke, without lifting her head, breathed heavily in silence, her face unseen. I'm sorry. Li Zheng swallowed his spit. I thought they were all my clothes. Shut up. Zhang Xiaoke still didn't look up, murmuring in an eerily low voice, if you spill it, I'll kill you. I got it, won't say a word. Li Zheng nodded repeatedly, actually, it's no big deal, Pikachu underwear is nothing to be ashamed of, my dad still wears red Superman boxers. Shut up. After locking the suitcase, Zhang Xiaoke once again hurriedly retreated into the bathroom. Sitting on the toilet lid, she furiously kicked her legs and waved her arms. Ah! If only I'd brought a different pair. After quite a while, she wiped her face and came out again. Li Zheng was sitting upright and still at the writing desk, not daring to move, murmuring, I've thought about it, maybe I should compensate your loss with a secret of mine, Teacher Tang, she. Shut up, it's over. Zhang Xiaoke sat on the bed with resentment, don't you even mention it ever again. All right. After a moment of tense silence. What about teacher Tang? Zhang Xiaoke eventually couldn't hold back. I'll only tell you, you mustn't tell anyone else. MHM, my mouth's the tightest, I'm the end of the line for secrets here. A few minutes later, having collected a new secret, Zhang Xiaoke finally relaxed. Aha, no wonder you haven't been wearing stockings lately. Oh? Is it because of the stockings? Yeah, stockings smell the worst. Zhang Xiaoke thought about it and hurriedly added, I'm the exception, I sweat very little. Alright, stop mocking others' weaknesses, everyone has their flaws. Li Zhang shook his head and sighed, like me, for so many years, I've been a slow learner, slow to understand. Shut up. Zhang Xiaoke promptly stopped Li Zhang, then sat on the bed swinging her legs, turning her head to say, you said just now, anything you have, I can have, right? Yeah, go ahead. Then. Zhang Xiaoke swallowed, turning her head, share some of your time with me. Time? Yeah, like tutoring me. Zhang Xiaoke turned her head again, it's like this, after using your systematic feedback studying method, in the recent monthly exam, I accidentally got the 10th place. Congratulations! Yeah, I didn't expect it either, so I want to give it a try. Zhang Xiaoke leaned back, spreading her arms and lying on the bed, after all, I got into rendezvous by myself. Maybe I just haven't felt confident in a long while. But now that I'm in the top 10, I want to put in serious effort again. Although I can't compare to Master, I still want to try and challenge Jingbei. That's a good thing, of course, Li Zhang reminded, but you need to evaluate yourself accurately, the only reason you got into the top 10 is because I didn't participate in the exam. Damn it! Zhang Xiaoke suddenly sat up and cursed, speaking of which, Jing didn't take the exam either, it's so annoying. Why not? She said she lacked the will to compete and just stayed home to study physics. Zhang Xiaoke stuck out her tongue and spread her arms, the principal couldn't do anything about her. Humph, typical master yet, Li Zhang began flexing his fingers, alright, back to you, when I return from the training camp, I'll conduct a more comprehensive assessment and intensive training on you, don't break down. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Zhang Xiaoke stood up happily, Su Mensi also got the 2nd place in the grade this month, you better not teach anyone else. That's tiring, it takes dozens of hours, Li Zhang waved off with a smile, no problem, consider it passing on the skills. Alright, let's go out then, Zhang Xiaoke grabbed Li Zhang to push him outside, bowling? Table tennis? Swimming? Li Zhang considered and said, how about shopping? Haven't done that in a long time. If you don't want to, forget it. I give up. Zhang Xiaoke resignedly spread her arms, let's just say it's to accompany you for a haircut. Okay, let's invite your mom too. Chapter 180. First was the relaxation level, which during this time, had casually accumulated to LV.3, 356/360 hours. Just in time, the 72-hour monthly shopping relaxation reset. Additionally, Mother K's aesthetic in fashion and styling was quite impressive, and I really wanted to exchange some thoughts. Also, having meals treated by Mother K usually meant going to the business district, and I was thoroughly sick of the hotel food by now. Moreover, I indeed needed a haircut. Taking such numerous factors into account, this bizarre shopping expedition took place. It was only on the way that I learned Mother K's job involved representing and sourcing some niche luxury goods, and she had even attempted to create her own brand, but luxury items are illogical, they are less about quality and more about branding and marketing. In the end, she had to give up. Accompanying Mother K, Li Zheng's peculiar knowledge base expanded considerably. Usually, he had zero interest in such knowledge. But having been immersed in chemistry for 2 weeks, any knowledge not involving elements and molecules started to appeal. It's like after having spicy hot pot continuously for 2 weeks, even a washed cucumber seemed like a feast for the gods. Throughout the shopping, hairstyling, and dining, Li Zheng thoroughly enjoyed his conversation with Mother K. It was Zhang Xiaoke who had a tough time, though. She felt like a bystander the whole time. Indeed, for the master, all that grooming was just a facade. Only knowledge baited the trap successfully. It was after 8 in the evening when Shi Yang left the restaurant with many buzz cuts, stepping onto the elevator. We exchanged glances, suffering from utter boredom. Damn it! This half-day rest was worse than no rest at all. After parting ways, Shi Yang, hands in his pockets and dejected, returned to his door, only pressing the doorbell when he noticed the Do Not Disturb light was off. After confirming there was nobody inside, he sighed, swiped his card to unlock the door, and turned on the lights as he entered. Looking at the empty room and the stacks of physics books and comic books on his desk, he sighed again. Why can't I meet a pretty, cute girl who loves chemistry? With this question in mind, he went to the toilet alone, brushed his teeth alone, showered alone, and prepared to go to bed alone. Just as he was about to get into bed, his expression suddenly tensed. Hair. Long hair. He picked up the long hair on the bedsheet in shock. His eyes gradually reddened. God damn it! Li Zheng! What the hell, in my bed? Between grief and fury, the door opened. Clutching the strand of hair, Shi Yang furiously approached the door. But before he could start yelling, he froze. Fuck! This guy had become handsome again. Brand new short, perky, sexy side-parted hair, brand new rugged, macho-styled leather jacket. Brand new big leather boots, brand new explosive jeans. Plus that slightly groomed faint stubble. Why the hell? Why be brothers with someone like him? I don't even dare talk to him. Li Zheng stood at the door, holding two large bags, and suddenly felt a bit shy. Changed my style, getting used to it. Shi Yang gnawed his teeth for a long time before finally raising his hand to reveal the strand of hair. Found this on my bed, you, explain this. Li Zheng looked at the strand of hair. He felt this scene was eerily familiar. He vaguely remembered. A day after Tang's Haifei's home visit. Ninger had picked up a hair from the couch and grilled old Li the same way. At the time, old Li was really panicked, but he himself had helped him out of the predicament. Li Zheng, of course, was not at all panicked, simply entered the room, shut the door. She sat on your bed, it would be weird if she didn't shed any hair, right? Just sat. Seems like she also lied down for a bit. Damn it! Why didn't she lie on your bed? My bed had a lot of stuff on it at the time. Arg! Shi Yang clutched his head, that makes so damn much sense. Alright, she only lay down for a bit, what's the big deal? Li Zheng put down the bags, slipped on his slippers, and headed to the bathroom to brush his teeth. I know you love spicy food, there's spicy crawfish in the bag for you, just 6, don't eat too many. Oh! Shi Yang's nose twitched instantly, following the scent, he indeed found a box of crawfish from Li Zheng's bag, and instantly his sorrow turned to joy. That's cool, brother, you get me. If her mom hadn't come too, I would have called you over. Li Zheng said with a smile, squeezing toothpaste, eat it while it's hot. Mom. Shi Yang plunked down at the bathroom door, opened the meal box in surprise. Her mom came with her to see you? That's pretty open-minded. What are you thinking? It was just on the way during a business trip. Li Zheng scolded with his toothbrush in his mouth. They packed these crawfish specifically to bring back for you. Good mom, good mom. Shi Yang then put on plastic gloves, picked up a crawfish and started gnawing on it, mumbling as he chewed, you know, brother Zheng. I've been following you for so long, yet I haven't seen much improvement. Why don't you teach me some tricks on how to make a girl come running over 1,000 miles just for you? What was a simple concern between classmates turned so disgusting the way you put it. Li Zheng rinsed his mouth and shook his head. Indeed, your emotional intelligence and perception are really too low. I'll give you 3 strict rules. Just follow these 3, and although they'll restrict your performance, you won't lose out. And you better off not trying to perform at all. Brother Zheng, please. Shi Yang finished off the meat of the crawfish in one bite, looked up at Li Zheng with undivided attention. After a brief ponder, Li Zheng cleared his throat and said, firstly, control your eyes and mouth, don't look where you shouldn't, don't say what you shouldn't, you have to fully respect the other person. Even if you have evil thoughts, try your best to pretend to be relaxed, to appear experienced and unperturbed. To sum it up in 5 big characters: steady and not frivolous. Shi Yang nodded repeatedly in agreement. Makes sense, but how exactly do you achieve being steady and not frivolous? It's pretty much like discussing a chemistry problem. Okay, I'm good at that, Shi Yang said eagerly, pulling another crayfish from the pile. And the second one? Second, you can only believe a woman's expressions, not what she says, Li Zheng said while rinsing his mouth. When humans communicate face to face, it's the expressions that convey the most and most accurate information, especially when communicating with women. What they say is just to confuse and distract, like the decoy choices in multiple choice questions, and it's easy to be misled. Shi Yang's scalp tingled as he exclaimed in shock, as if the numbing effect of the Sichuan peppercorns in the crayfish had gone to his head. So that's it. Women's words are just distractions, and expressions are the real deal. Brother Zheng, you're awesome. What's there to get excited about? This is just the basics, Li Zheng explained as he brushed his teeth. To help you understand, I'll give you an example. Let's say a woman is looking around while talking to you. It means she wants to end the conversation soon, even if she says, "Wow, Shi Yang, you're so smart." Don't believe it. Instead, if you take the initiative to say you go ahead with your work, and if there's a chance, we can discuss this problem later, you'll actually make a better impression. I've learned a lot, Teacher Li, Shi Yang slapped his thigh. No wonder girls only talk to me once and then never again. Are there more examples like this? Countless. Take Lin Yujing, for example. Li Zheng admired the shape of his beard in the mirror, smiling foolishly as he said, she rarely speaks, so most of the time, you have to judge by her expressions. Interestingly, her expressions are often the opposite of her thoughts. For example, when she glares at me fiercely, it's not because she hates me, but because she's looking forward to me trying harder to provide her with more challenges and excitement. Wow! I really can't understand this at all, Teacher Li. No help for it, that level is too high for you, your rank is too low. You'll have to build it up slowly, said Li Zheng as he cleaned his toothbrush cup and exited the bathroom to continue his lesson. Finally, the third one, never, ever start a conversation with sexual undertones, let alone say anything like picking up girls. Such things are like using your mouth to blow out an alcohol burner while doing an experiment. It's an absolute Achilles heel, instant fail. Shi Yang said blankly, aren't girls nowadays very open? Idiot, openness depends on the person and a certain level of familiarity, Li Zheng said, tapping his forehead firmly. If you're not within her comfort zone, you're just cutting off your own prospects. Even if you are, you have to be extremely cautious. Shi Yang swallowed and asked breathlessly, then, what if it's the girl who brings up that kind of topic? That, Li Zheng shook his head gravely. I haven't been through that. From my point of view, such things can disrupt your focus and affect your studies. It's best to discuss this after marriage. If a girl had any designs on me during high school, I would most likely keep my distance, just like with those 174 girls who wrote me love letters. Shi Yang felt severely uncomfortable, and with a squeak, he crushed a crayfish head in his teeth. Your mother, and you say you're not a cat. But as a science guy, he still spotted a loophole in Li Zheng's lecture and immediately spat out the crayfish head to ask, you said most likely. What about the small chance left? You ask too much, don't be greedy, Li Zheng said, dodging back into the bathroom. All right, now according to the Feynman technique, summarize it yourself. Okay, Teacher Li. Shi Yang reluctantly set aside the crayfish and sat cross-legged in thought. When with a girl, you should look straight into her eyes, unblinkingly, and discuss studies seriously. Meanwhile, you should always observe her expression, and if she shows even the slightest annoyance, you should offer to let her leave. And always speak with integrity, avoid any ambiguity. Is that right? Close enough, Li Zheng nodded assuredly. That's pretty much how I go about it. I've learned. I'm going to turn it into a catchy phrase to memorize, Shi Yang declared. With the way you catch on, you better memorize it hard. Thank you for your guidance, Teacher Li. Shi Yang mustered his energy and exclaimed, I'm going to be just like Teacher Li, a total scumbag. I mean a tough guy, a tough guy. Chapter 181. He believed that mastering this skill would definitely allow him to craft a studious and upstanding persona. This way, the girls would no longer dislike him. Although it was unlikely that they'd actually like him. But at least, it could pull him back up to zero from the negative. Thinking that Shi Baoer would surely make significant progress in the future, Li Zheng felt very reassured. He lay in bed and, for the first time in a while, checked the system. The challenges of the academic fortune under the Heavenly Demon title were too difficult and could only be left to fate. Luckily, it didn't conflict with choosing one out of 3 upgrade tasks. He had been busy shopping before and didn't have the mind to check, but now was just the right time. Li Zheng. Game coin, 25. Relaxation level, LV4. Distance to next level, relax 2/720 hours. Please choose LV4 reward. A. Top artist, publish original artworks on major social media platforms, reaching over 1 million viewers within 2 weeks. Reward, earn the title of top artist, painting relaxation rate 30%, max limit 30%. B. 5 subjects scholar, during high school, win national gold medals in competitions for 5 major subjects. Task progress, 1/5. Reward, general knowledge reconstruction, break down the barriers of academic language, integrate the knowledge of various categories into unified general knowledge, greatly compress memory content, 98% plus, and significantly boost memory capabilities, 500% plus. C. Campus Dominator, support your factions across classes and grades to dominate over half of the school's classes and publicly defy the principal, gaining more deterrent power than the principal. Reward, 70 game coins, corruption 3 debuff, permanently reduce learning efficiency to 0, and start inversely corrupting the system, attempting to awaken the former ruler and push the world towards an eternal abyss of irrationality. This time, without saying anything else. The path of corruption is indeed bottomless. This demonic nature of narration. Like a gentle chant in one's ear. The whispers in dreams. Awaken the human worship of irrationality, of disordered pleasure. It makes one, somewhat tempted to choose it. Just then. Shi Yang suddenly turned over. Can't help but ask. Are girls' tongues cool and sweet? Li Zheng was instantly snapped back to reality. He gasped for air and stared dumbfounded at the ceiling, panting heavily. Too terrifying. The path of corruption is too terrifying. Hey! Shi Yang cheered, bro, you were so fierce during the day, and you still have some left? Really savoring the aftertaste, hey! Li Zheng just kept panting. Damn it, a lifetime of studying, ruined in a moment. Even though he had reached this point step by step, he still felt somewhat overwhelmed by the temptation of corruption. Truly terrifying. It won't do, my willpower is still not strong enough. Let's recite the calming incantation to soothe myself. Namo, he lada na, duo lo ya yat. When Shi Yang heard this, he laughed even more. Wow, brother is quite meticulous, hey? Are you liberating the souls of those billions of descendants who just passed away? Li Zheng finally couldn't stay calm. Get lost. Hehe, we're so close, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Shi Yang hugged the blanket tightly, looking forward with anticipation. So, is it really cool and sweet? Damn it, can't you think logically? Li Zheng cursed, the human body temperature is around 36 degrees Celsius, why would the mucous membrane and saliva in the mouth be sweet? That's where you're wrong, brother. There's a whole series of biochemical reactions involved. Shi Yang gestured out of thin air. There are many sensory cells on the tongue that can sense temperature and taste and convey it to the brain. Objectively speaking, girls' tongues are not ice sweet flavored, but sensation is a subjective thing. Like, I keep thinking about ice sweet, eventually, I might actually change the biochemical signals and taste it. Damn it, you should go eat a green tongue instead. Hat, you just don't get it, Shi Yang chuckled, if you didn't taste ice and sweet, it just means you don't love her enough, you're just flirting around, you scoundrel. Suit yourself, as long as you're happy. Li Zheng rolled over, wiping his forehead. That was close, glad you interrupted with that lowbrow topic. Oh? I can go even lower. Shut up, and sleep, sleep, sleep. Let's talk more about the details of today, share with your brother. Li Zheng turned towards the window, ignoring him. At times like this, as long as you ignore Shi Yang and let him babble, he'll soon put himself to sleep. Now, it's time to reassess the 3 tasks. No, it's 2 tasks, as I'm definitely not looking at the third one. It does not exist, does not exist, does not exist. The first task, Master Painter, probably popped up because I've been painting frequently lately. Completing it feels not too challenging, and even if my skills aren't enough, I could still draw some forbidden content that people enjoy, perhaps even making over 2 million. It's a pity, the rewards for completing the task are too low. This type of relaxation task should be passed. I look down on the first one, and dare not even glance at the third. Thus, there's no choice left, only the second task 5 subjects scholar remains. Win national gold medals in 5 high school level competitions. This actually has some difficulty. Discussing mathematics, physics, chemistry, computer science, biology individually. Chemistry is already secured, no need to worry about it anymore. As for the difficulty of mathematics and physics competitions, it's undoubtedly at least 5 times more than chemistry. And those competitions greatly test a student's talent and inspiration, not something you can score high on through rote learning. A situation like with chemistry where one can overpower simply with quantity of knowledge is unlikely to occur. Finally, looking at the computer science competition, it's pretty much a fog. I'll ask Ou Sing Zhou about it later. Doesn't seem to be anything else. But still feel like I'm missing something. Whatever, that'll do. In short, the 5 subjects scholar is a challenging task indeed. As for the reward, general knowledge reconstruction. It's quite profound and mysterious. No helping it, human memory is a profoundly mysterious thing in itself. Remembering the taste of an apple is a complex task, but it happens in an instant. But to remember pale yellow flesh, delicate and crunchy, juicy and crisp, these abstract descriptions takes a long time, and you'll forget as soon as you turn around. No helping it, the human brain is better at remembering personal experiences rather than knowledge described. Moreover, this knowledge is divided into many categories, needing different thought processes and various mystical symbols to describe. This counterintuitive abstract nature is also precisely the difficulty in learning, the pain point people hate about studying. And as one ages, some forgetting is inevitable, retaining only the necessities, most frequently used, and most vivid aspects. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Imagine if a person really remembered every moment they lived through, their brain might explode. As for the reward named general knowledge reconstruction, from its description, it seems like a kind of algorithm optimization, or perhaps knowledge compression. That is, in the future, could one remember more knowledge with less information, faster, and for a longer duration? Brilliant! The benefits for learning are needless to say. What's crucial is, in the future, even entering middle age, one won't be stumped by high school math problems in their child's homework. It will greatly fortify one's dignity within the family. At least one won't end up as miserable as old Li. Alright now, no more overthinking. Accept it. With the new task accepted, the terrifying corruption task finally left my sight. Li Zheng felt much better. On the other hand, sorry, to the students who participate in the academic competitions. This time, I'm truly out to collect the Dragon Balls. Hereby, I send my sincere apologies in advance to all the finalists who will win the silver medal and emerge as the top scorer. Heartfelt wishes for you to win gold next year. Chapter 182. Luckily, before the gates of hell, there was one final buffer. Breakfast. This time, Li Zheng's breakfast was shared with Zhang Xiaoke, while he casually explained some recent problems she had encountered. However, for the other crew cut students, this was an even deeper hell. In the cafeteria, silent and grim, everyone swallowed their food in quiet resignation. Mid-swallow, Wei Dongyang couldn't take it anymore, abruptly stood up, and stormed to the serving table. He dumped a large bowl full of tofu pudding. The rest, sensing his momentum, immediately followed suit. In an instant, regardless of regional preference for sweet or salty, about a dozen crew cuts gathered around. United in mutual disdain, each took a spoonful and all sprinkled it into the innocent bowl of white tofu pudding. In the blink of an eye, they had scooped the sugar jar empty. A bowl of ultimate revenge sweet tofu pudding was born. Under Wei Dongyang's lead, the crew cuts quickly advanced toward Li Zheng's table. Bang! The bowl slammed down onto the table. Yesterday's competition, the sweet team won in the end, Wei Dongyang said, gazing intently at Li Zheng with a grave tone, be a man and down it. Li Zheng was startled and only then remembered there had been a competition. Indeed, he too was on the salty team, and even let down their first attack, so he should rightfully endure the punishment for failure. But this bowl, was it really tofu pudding? Why did it feel like a thick, sticky mass of starch? Nevertheless, Li Zheng also picked up a spoon and told the crew cuts with clarity. A bet's a bet. Having said that, he scooped up a big spoonful and, girding himself, opened his mouth wide, delivering a spoonful of sweet tofu pudding straight to the back of his tongue, not even tasting it before swallowing. Throughout the process, his expression never changed, steady as a rock. Then he took another spoonful. Without so much as a shiver. Wei Dongyang was profoundly shocked. Damn it, there was this trick too. To avoid tasting the sweetness of the tofu pudding. This guy actually bypassed his tongue completely, sending it right down his esophagus. This was sheer blasphemy towards sweet tofu pudding. The crew cuts also burst into curses. That's not how you're supposed to eat it. Aren't you afraid of getting diabetes? At least taste it a little. Fine, I'll satisfy you guys, Li Zheng said with a light smile. He dug deep from where he'd previously scooped, extracting a large spoonful of pure tofu pudding, perfectly avoiding the thick syrup on the surface. Only then did he put it in his mouth to taste. He even parted his lips slightly, showing his twirling tongue to all the crew cuts. Watching his agile tongue, the crew cuts crumbled. All right, Zhang Xiaok, seeing the mood turning sour, quickly got up to defuse the situation. There's not much time left, Li Zheng still needs to go over a few problems with me. Gentlemen, please let Li Zheng be, I beg your pardon. As she spoke, Zhang Xiaok clasped her hands together and bowed to the crew cuts. At this gesture, the eyes of the crew cuts collectively began to drift elsewhere. Ah, forget it. Eating more won't be good for our health anyway. You guys discuss the problems. Let's stop this and eat, eat. In a matter of seconds, all had dispersed. Haha, Zhang Xiaok chuckled, everyone here is too adorable, except for your roommate. You don't understand, Shi Baoer is actually the cutest. Li Zheng picked up a glass of water, took a large gulp, and after tilting his head back to gulp for quite a while, spit it out and then wiped his mouth before continuing to discuss the problems. Zhang Xiaok also listened attentively. When it came to studying, she was serious. Soon, the alarm on the cell phone rang. In 5 minutes, they would have to take the car to Liudong University to attend class. Li Zheng could only close his notebook with regret. Send the rest to me through WeChat, I can explain to you by voice message, and video is also fine. No worries, I won't disturb you anymore. Zhang Xiaok also closed her notebook and sighed in relief. So master, will we see your news on TV in a few days? Hard to say. Li Zheng grabbed a large steamed bun and hastily began to devour it. From the experience of the past few years, the national competition champions didn't make the national team. There's going to be a lot of changes in ability during this training period, and the final assessment problems will be quite tricky. Someone stable like me might not make the cut. So although you don't like chemistry, you're still going to try your best to qualify, right? Zhang Xiaok asked, packing her bag. Of course, Li Zheng said, wiping his mouth after wolfing down his food. By the way, aren't you joining them for the physics competition? Not into that. I'm very practical. Zhang Xiaok slung her bag over her shoulder and shook her fist. I've even put away my comics recently and stopped going shopping to catch up with Master at full speed. Ha, I like your confidence. Li Zheng also shouldered his bag and bumped fists with his disciple. Well, see you at school then. Middle school or university. With my help, you'll make it to both. He coming to dote on you hasn't been in vain, Master. You're thinking too much, it's all for Mrs. Zhang's sake. This title, why has it become even weirder? It had to be said that Zhang Xiaok's arrival had greatly improved Li Zheng's condition. With the diversions of physics and comics, and the comfort of home slippers, chemistry didn't seem so scary anymore. In the second week of training, he even made some progress, boosting his chemistry to the magical level of 346. Unexpectedly, within the limited realm of chemistry, there was still some juice to squeeze out. On December 22, Saturday, the training camp reached its final assessment. Just like the national finals, one day was for theory and one day for practicals. Although the entire training was extremely monotonous, most of the students were quite relaxed during the exams. After all, those sitting here had all been pre-admitted. And most of them didn't believe they had a chance to go to Prague. They were merely there to keep company. Of course, a few were still pushing themselves. Before entering the classroom, Shi Yang had changed from his usual slovenliness to an unprecedented seriousness. He left Li Zheng with the words, "If you hold back, I will never speak to you again in my life," before stepping into the examination room. For Li Zheng, such a threat was, of course, no threat at all. Truthfully, being pestered by Shi Baoer every day was the scariest thing. However, it wasn't his intention to hold back in the first place. The exam began as usual. Being the final selection, they used ICHO level problems this time, and the difficulty even surpassed last year's ICHO in Indonesia. The volume of questions was massive, and there was not a single giveaway question. Good, this was challenging enough. What he hadn't expected was that it was indeed too challenging. A full 5 hours. He had not finished the exam. There was no helping it, the questions covered too broad a range and delved too deep. Not just him, everyone, when handing in their papers, had expressions that spoke volumes of their despair. They didn't even have the energy to look at the answers. Shi Yang, on the other hand, approached Li Zheng with an energetic demeanor. That was tough, this time. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've felt this pressed, Li Zheng said, massaging his knuckles. That's what makes it interesting. But, I didn't finish. Hey, I didn't finish either, Shi Yang laughed. Then why are you so happy? Because I saw a few people next to me didn't even finish half, haha. The next day's practical exam was also 5 hours long. There were 2 major questions that were intimidating just by looking at them. Synthesis of N-acetyl-L-prolanylphenylalanine methyl ester, ACL-Pro-LPHEOC3. Titration of ascorbic acid with potassium iodate. Not only were these substances terrifying, but the experimentation process was also a far cry from the usual heat and filtrate routine, filled with operations like low temperatures, layering, manual shaking, and precise time limits for each step. In short, the slightest hesitation would lead to defeat. Moreover, the 5-hour time limit was very tight, and the 2 experiments had to be carried out simultaneously in order to stand a chance of scoring highly. The requirements for understanding the experiment and controlling time were also terrifyingly high. Probably only researchers who spent every day in the lab could be confident of scoring highly on the first try. Even Li Zheng, facing these new compounds and intermediates, was caught off guard more than once. The complexity of the experiments was there for all to see. Even with a great deal of forethought, unexpected situations always arose, requiring a stronger ability to respond on the spot, as well as luck. Ultimately, when time ran out, he had just finished filling out the answer sheet. It wasn't a disaster, but it was certainly not going to be a great score. As the practical exam came to an end, the students should have shouted with relief. But the experiment was so terrifying that nearly everyone was tortured enough by it. They had no energy left to chat. Even Wei Dongyang, who had participated in last year's training, cursed. This is twice as hard as last year, damn it. Li Zheng sat there stunned. Indeed, even for ICHO, the intensity of this was just too much. As the team leader, Dean Zhou had used problems of such caliber to test them, and there were so many of them. It seemed he had already decided that next year's Prague Finals, the 50th anniversary of the ICHO, would be the toughest one in history. The monsters from Eastern Europe would surely defend the dignity of chemistry. In light of this, Dean Zhou Chenghuan didn't hesitate to torment them so much, only to filter out the most terrifying problem-solving beasts. After dinner, around 9 o'clock, all the participants of the training camp were gathered again in the small conference room for an informal mini-closing ceremony. The conference room was somewhat disordered, with Dean Zhou and 3 other responsible teachers sitting at the head, still discussing something. Following Dean Zhou's call, the students also took their seats casually. After spending so much time together, at the end of this training camp, Zhou Yi didn't resort to clichés and just asked the crowd with a beaming smile, "Tough, hey. Tough." The trainees shouted almost inventing. This time, even Li Zheng joined the shouting. Haha, Zhou Yi chuckled, "It really was a bit tough, you all worked hard." Everyone laughed along. Damn, even Zhou Chenghuan said so, it must have been really tough. The results are out, let me go over them briefly. Zhou Yi leaned back in his chair and commented relaxedly, ICO is out of 100 points, usually it's 60 for theory and 40 for practical. The difficulty of this test, conservatively speaking, probably around 65 points might get you a gold medal, but if you want to rank in the top 3, you need to aim for 90. According to this estimate, among us here, there could be more than 10 gold medalists. Phew. The previously casual atmosphere evened up again. With such tricky questions, over 10 people got more than 60 points? Damn, that's not what everyone thought right after the exam. But, Zhou Yi quickly sat upright again, adjusted his glasses, and said, next year's Prague questions might not be easier than these, and we still need to pick the best of the best. I personally reviewed and approved every single paper, and the other teachers have also signed and acknowledged them. The current scores are the final ones, and I hope everyone understands." The students nodded firmly. As things had come to this point, there was no need to quarrel over scores anymore. This was it. After confirming with the other teachers once more, Zhou Yi picked up the score sheets, his smile faded, and his tone of voice became more serious. "I hope everyone understands that the training exam is different from the national finals one. There might be correlations between the two sets of results, but they are not decisive. Now, I'll only announce the top 5. Those who wish to know their scores can come and check after the meeting. If needed, you can also take a copy of the answer key. Lastly, let me reiterate, the full score for the theory part of this exam is 60 points and 40 for the practical. So, the first place in our training this time." Zhou Yi suddenly looked up, radiating a beaming smile. "Who could it be? Hey! Ah! Why are you doing the singer's routine?" The students started protesting. "Hehe, it's quite fun," Zhou Yi said with a smile. "Shall I announce the third place first? Wei Dongyang, or is it Zhou Bin?" The protests grew louder. "Enough, Teacher Zhou. Please, just talk normally." The other teachers couldn't stand it anymore either. "Stop messing around, Dean Zhou. Give the kids a break. They're tired enough." Under everyone's reproach, Zhou Yi had no choice but to give up disappointedly and cleared his throat to return to seriousness. All right. Then I'll start with the first place," he said. "First place, Shi Yang. Total score of 95.29. Theory score of 55.33, rank 2. Practical score of 39.96, ranked 1. Before he finished speaking, the conference room already erupted. "Damn, the Cobalt God is back in his spot. Is this guy a monster? Shi Yang, are you a monster? How the hell could anyone score that on a practical? Just give him the gold medal already, Teacher Zhou." In the midst of congratulations and jeers, Shi Yang became shy, just lowering his head and sneaking glances at Li Zheng sitting to his right. If the rules don't change, this could be the end of Li Zheng's journey in chem competitions. Li Zheng himself felt lightheaded, a rush of relief flooding his mind. It wasn't because he could escape the chemistry hell. It was a sense of release from going all out. Out of over 1 billion people nationwide, there's always someone better. Losing to Shi Yang was convincingly fair. No regrets. Li Zheng didn't have any excess emotions, just playfully punched Shi Yang and cursed with a smile, "Your mom, that practical was freakishly abnormal, you're awesome." Ha ha ha. Shi Yang finally dared to laugh and retorted with a smirk, "Still not up to par, hey? You lost to me, didn't you?" Not just Li Zheng but others around also crowded over to thump Shi Yang. "Did you forget to eat during nationals? Sign something for me in advance, will you? Looks like G University's contract is going to be voided." The friendly commotion lasted several minutes before Zhou Yi had to step in to quell it. Soon, everyone returned to their seats, and the conference room quieted down again. But Zhou Yi didn't rush to make further announcements. After a moment of silence, he sighed and spoke. "Second place. Li Zheng. Total score of 90.15. Theoretical score, 58.02, rank 1. Experimental score, 32.13, rank 4. Different from before. This time there was no uproar. The atmosphere was instead somewhat chilly. Many felt a wave of sadness inside them. These two bastards, the result really turned out to be this. This set of problems, theoretical 58.02. Completely justified to challenge the world number 1. Even if the experimental advantage isn't that absolute, it's definitely enough to confidently vie for the top 3. In previous years, this level would have surely led to ICO. But just our luck. This year we run into Shi Yang, this monster. Not only that. Many present also knew. During the selection for the Jiajing team, the final experimental exam, the one who personally gave Shi Yang a boost, was none other than Li Zheng. For a moment, the conference room was filled with sighs, as everyone was unsure whether to offer congratulations or consolation. Zhou Yi, seeing that his students were not speaking, had no choice but to speak himself. This theoretical score, just like Shi Yang's experimental score, is equally inconceivable. Honestly, for this set of problems, it's impossible to finish in 5 hours. Even inviting the past 3 champions, they might not reach 55. A theoretical score of 58.02 is the most extreme I have ever seen. There's nothing more to say, very, very, very good. All this time, Zhou Yi didn't dare to look at Li Zheng, just continuing to announce the scores. 3rd place, Zhou Bin, total score 81.55. 4th place, Wei Dongyang, total score 80.81. 5th place, Sun Chenglong, total score 78.29. Considering the rules that the 4 members of the national team must come from different regions. If nothing unexpected happens. Zhou Yi put down the list, sighed deeply, and looked at the students in turn. The national team competing in the 50th ICO next year will be composed of Shi Yang, Zhou Bin, Wei Dongyang, and Sun Chenglong. This list will be officially announced before long. With that, Zhou Yi stood up and nodded his head to everyone in gratitude. Thank you all for your efforts during this time. I believe we will meet again in the future. I hope everyone won't slacken off because of the guaranteed admission. From now until you enter university, there's still much to achieve. You could prepare for college entrance examinations to solidify your foundations, or you can develop hobbies and interests, start researching topics early. If nothing else, attending lectures at nearby universities is excellent too. You are also welcome to sit in on my organic chemistry class, haha. So, this will be the last meeting. Tomorrow morning, there will be a shuttle to take you to the train station. Meeting adjourned, camp dismissed. Those who want to see their scores can come. After saying everything in one go, Zhou Yi finally sat back in his chair, took off his glasses, and rubbed his eyes while tilting his head back. In these past days, he, too, had been frequently commuting between G and Lu, aside from lecturing and creating and grading problems, and was quite exhausted. The students then stood up, offering their wishes. Teacher Zhou, you have worked hard too. Thank you, Teacher Zhou. Haha, I'll listen to your Cheng Huan lecture when I enroll next year. Li Zheng also stood up amidst the confusion, rubbing his stiff neck. Sneakily learning the skills ultimately couldn't surpass Shi Yang's decade of immersion and his passion for chemistry. If it were someone else, he'd definitely be annoyed to some extent. But losing to Shi Yang? I simply have no way out, do I? Actually, now would be the time to thank Zhou Yi and say goodbye. But Zhou Yi never looked over here from the start. He must be worrying about the sensitive and complex situation. Realizing this, Li Zheng just took the opportunity to nod from afar, and after Zhou Yi waved his hand, he left the conference room with Shi Yang. Walking down the corridor, as the noise behind him faded away, Li Zheng's mind was free from any extra concerns. Shi Yang, on the other hand, followed him closely, talking about vulgar topics the whole way. Li Zheng knew he was trying to distract him, so he wouldn't dwell on the ICO matter. But there really was no need for that. At this moment, Li Zheng's heart was already back at school. The flowers at Lake Ying, I'm afraid they're already gone by now. It's also time to switch to a winter outfit for naps in the library. Chapter 183. It's me, Zhou Yi, the person outside said. The two hurriedly got up to open the door and, just like before, sat together in a group. Without a doubt, Zhou Yi had come to console Li Zheng. It wasn't convenient during the public meeting, but now that everything was taken care of, he could come over. He also used the emotion transfer method, though not as crass as Shi Yang's. After all, the road ahead was long, and ICO was just a minor milestone. There were many gods in the past, like the legends of Cobalt God and Pleasure God. To this day, not all of them are in the field of chemistry, some have even become obscure artists. Who knows what the future holds? Li Zheng naturally expressed his thanks repeatedly. Zhou Yi had gone to such lengths, even worrying about his emotions, he truly didn't know how to respond. Or? Zhou Yi raised an eyebrow at the end, suddenly producing a piece of paper. Why don't you just sign with me, and it's okay even if you break the contract. Li Zheng's face turned sour in an instant. Fuck, after all that talk, it's still a pyramid scheme. After sending Zhou Yi off, Li Zheng and Shi Yang each lay in their own beds, neither speaking, yet neither asleep. After an undefined length of time, it was Shi Yang who broke the silence first. Asleep? No. Shi Yang heaved a long sigh. The matter is over, and the results are as they are, but I'm still pissed. You scored 9 points higher than the third place. 9 points, that's 2 whole grades. Enough, Let's not talk about it, Li Zhang replied. I'm talking about it, Shi Yang said firmly with pursed lips. You saw it, right? Zhou Chenghuan was also discontented. Frankly, if the two of us went to Prague, we would definitely secure the team championship. Instead, they swapped a 90-pointer for a 78-pointer, fuck. Rules are rules, they were established long before we came, Li Zheng said flatly, propping his head with his hands. Dean Zhou said they'd change soon, we just happened to fall at the point of improvement. Yes, I know that, Shi Yang said through clenched teeth. I dream of it. You, me, Dong Yang, sweeping the top 3 places, 3 red flags, the national anthem playing 3 times, fucking hell. Take it easy, I'm going to sleep. Li Zheng turned over. There's a car at 7 in the morning, we need to get up early. Yeah. Shi Yang also turned over, but at the same time grasped the blanket tightly. Never mind. What? Li Zheng asked. Nothing, just sleep. Right. What Li Zheng didn't know was that Shi Yang was already brewing something bigger. After all, he was the one who tossed a huge lump of sodium into the cesspit. Shibaoer. December 24th, Monday. Whether department stores or restaurants, merchants had already decorated for Christmas. Really, it was nothing more than an old man in a tree. However, Lake Ying Middle School had a different vibe altogether. At the entrance hung a huge red banner. Warm congratulations to Li Zheng for winning the National Chemistry Olympiad Championship. Within the school, on bulletin boards and announcement panels, there was no shortage of related news and student articles. And news related to that news. Lu Xiaodong, we have the confidence to build a strong chem competitions school. OMG, must buy it. Study materials recommended by Li Zheng till he almost spit blood. Junior Grade 1 Chem Competitions Group, looking forward to welcoming you if you love chemistry. Our school and city first school to hold a joint New Year's Eve party, all grades eagerly registering for programs. Yu Hong, how to plan your path in chem competitions. Tang's Hi-Fei, my special interaction techniques with unique students. This winter, the entire school was caught up in a fervent chemistry craze. In such a season, the most disheartened were undoubtedly the physics teachers. Science consists simply of mathematics, physics, and chemistry. For many years, my dear physics has been vying with mathematics as the ace subject. She never imagined that, in this day and age, she would be trampled under the feet of puny chemistry. For a long time to come, she feared she would only be able to lift her head before biology. Teacher Tao Fifei of the Senior 2 Class 4 was undoubtedly the most dejected. But her dejection wasn't due to the strength of chemistry. It was because of her 37th failed attempt at matchmaking. As the school's key young physics teacher, her mind was top-notch. Her appearance wasn't bad, and her figure was pretty good too. So why, with such qualifications, had she not managed to get married by age 29? The reason was nothing else but her mouth. She had taught for so long, she always talked like she was giving a lecture. Every time she went on a date, she would subconsciously scold the man for not paying attention whenever he got distracted. No matter the topic of conversation, she always started from a purely rational, abstract perspective, overwhelming with information, making any normal person doubt their intelligence after only a few sentences. Feigning ignorance and innocence, Tao Fifei had tried that too. But she always came across as stiff. For example, on a date with an IT guy, he went on and on bragging about big projects he'd done. Tao Fifei tried hard to look admiring, saying things like "That's really impressive, you're so bold, I wish I could be as smart as you," and other such nonsense. But it wasn't long before the guy hung his head and left after paying the bill. Only after inquiring did she learn that he felt he was being mocked in a weird passive-aggressive way. In short, it was tough. Smart women struggle to win men's favor by showing off their intelligence. And she couldn't act dumb. Good men always prefer the naturally unintelligent. The less than perfect ones, she couldn't get past her own criteria. It was tough, really tough, for smart, beautiful, and knowledgeable women. With a heavy heart, Tao Fifei ate lunch alone, returned to the teaching building alone, and walked toward the office alone. When she arrived at the office door, it was wide open. Normally, she would have returned to her desk and started grading homework as usual. But this time, she was rooted to the spot. Because she saw a man. More specifically, she saw a man's back. A man who was sitting in her chair and reading a book with his head down. This man was wearing a body-fitting leather jacket and had a short haircut that stood up in a sexy way. Tao Fei couldn't help clutching her chest, gasping for breath. Could it be, the overseas returned PhD hunk teacher Tang mentioned? The thought made Tao Fei instantly tense up. No good, she hadn't done her makeup properly. Her clothes were chosen at random. She instinctively shrank back, hiding outside the door frame. Her heart started thumping wildly. She had never experienced such intense heartbeats on all her blind dates. For a moment, she felt like she was back in her college days, secretly observing an online friend at an agreed-upon location. It was that kind of small thrill of observing secretly before meeting. Tao Fei quickly took a breath and peeked out with half her head to spy. As a physics teacher, even from this angle, she could deduce the man's height was around 180 centimeters, he had a strong build, and his buttocks were rather perky. At the same time, she could roughly make out that the man was flipping through an English book. It surely was the overseas returned PhD. What excited Tao Fei even more was that there was a large suitcase placed next to him. Oh my goodness! Why is he in such a hurry to see me just after returning to the country? Am I that outstanding? Should I go home to touch up my makeup and change my clothes? While she hesitated, the man closed the book, sighed, and rose to his feet. He seemed to be leaving. No. That won't do. Tao Fei's eyes reddened in anxiety. She hurriedly straightened her hair. As she was getting ready, the man's phone in the room suddenly rang. He answered it quickly. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, I can't make it to Prague. Yes, came straight to the school. There's something very important. Right, it's because of that. Urgent, very urgent, don't want to delay even a second. I must get Teacher Tao's response. All right, see you tonight. At the doorway, Tao Fei was about to explode. Is it that urgent? He must get Teacher Tao's response? My beauty shot, so moving. For me, he even pushed aside an important job opportunity in Prague? The emotions were already so intense. Tao Fei could no longer bear it. She flung aside the door frame and burst into the office. The answer is yes, I can do it anytime. This time, she faced her heart and chose to be unrestrained. As soon as she spoke, the man turned around. Li Zheng, looking at the blushing Tao Fei, widened his eyes. You want to start coaching for the physics Olympiad now? Teacher Tao is even more anxious than me, impressive. Tao Fei also widened her eyes, nearly popping her glasses off. She remained frozen for a long time before finally crying out. Li Zheng. It's me. Li Zheng said, slightly embarrassed as he adjusted his jacket collar. I didn't go home after getting off the train, came directly to the school, didn't even enter my class, just came to look for you. I didn't expect you to be so impatient as well, let's start now. You. Tao Fei's eyes grew even redder, a mix of sorrow and shame, as she gestured angrily toward the door. Get out. Ah. Li Zheng paused for a moment, but soon realized, and humbly bowed his head to sigh, I understand. Dressing like this must be a violation of the rules, right? I'll go home, change into my uniform, and then come back. It's not that. You didn't go home or to class, but you rushed to find me for what? There's an important question I need to ask. Tao Fei clutched her hair a few times before reluctantly sitting down at her desk, forcefully grabbed the homework assignments, and began marking fiercely with her pen. What is it? Spit it out. Li Zheng stood beside her, took a deep breath, and then finally spoke with a heavy voice. Does the Ipoh national team have a rule that only one person can be chosen from each province? What the hell is that? Ipoh national team, is there a requirement that several team members must come from different provinces? Tao Fei's hand stiffened, and she turned to look at Li Zheng. Li Zheng too remained silent, simply watching her. Tao Fei paused for a long while before sighing, pulled over a chair for Li Zheng to sit, took off her glasses and asked. Did the national team results come out? Yes. Your ranking? Second. Is the first also from Jiajing? Yes. How much are you ahead of the third? 9%. Well, no wonder. Tao Fei's expression softened, she patted Li Zheng's shoulder and said, You've worked so hard for so long, this kind of result is indeed very agonizing, you've had a hard time. Having said that, she put on her glasses again, brimming with energy, and nodded to Li Zheng. Rest assured, the EPO doesn't have such a rule. As long as you are strong enough, all 5 members of the national team can be from the same school, even the same class. Li Zheng's expression finally relaxed, and he muttered to himself, that's good. You wouldn't. Tao Fei looked up and down at Li Zheng with a smile and said, really plan to compete in the EPO with Lin Yujing? I'm just considering the possibility in advance. Li Zheng had just finished speaking when he shook his head and chuckled, forget it, no more pretending. Yes, that's exactly what I'm planning to do. Ha, you really underestimate the physics competition. Tao Fei laughed with a crooked smile. Li Zheng, although you have achieved very good results in chemistry, I still have to strike you down. Let's be honest, from my judgment, Lin Yujing is far, far stronger than you. Li Zheng nodded firmly, yes, I admit that. It's not that you are bad, you are already very good, and your physics would rank within the top 5 of all the students I have taught. The main thing is... Tao Fei stared blankly ahead, her eyes revealing an indelible sense of awe. Lin Yujing really doesn't seem human. You know, after so many years of development in physics, the sophisticated problems and solutions we have now are the result of generations of scholars optimizing and improving them over time. Without tutoring, it's almost impossible to come up with the best solutions on your own. But Lin Yujing, she can. I completely can't understand, but she just does it. Every problem she works on, it's like planting a seed. Without doing anything, just by sleeping on it, it can sprout into countless branches. Aside from genius, I can't find any other word for it. I originally planned 3 months of intensive advanced training, and she completed it in a week and a half. Now we're already working on crash courses for the experiments. Through understanding her during this period, I must admit, she indeed has the potential to join the national training team. In the end, Tao Fei fixed her gaze on Li Zheng. As for you, it's good to have lofty goals, but you must prepare for failure. In the later stages of math and physics, it really becomes a battle of geniuses, and 99.999% of brains simply don't qualify to watch the battle. The gap is like that between a basic calculator and an 8-core core processor. Her intention was to urge Li Zheng to be more realistic, to lower his expectations in advance, so that even if he faced setbacks in the future, it wouldn't be too hard to bear. But unexpectedly, this only fueled his fire more. Teacher Tao. Li Zheng tapped his forehead hard, don't worry, my brain is not normal either. That's not what I meant. Alright, let's get started. Li Zheng rubbed his hands together, ready to unpack his luggage. I've already prepared a lot of reference books. Now? No. Tao Fei waved her hands hastily, I start with Lin Yujing and Zhang Qinghua at 4 in the afternoon. You come over at 4 as well, I still have other things to do now. Okay. Li Zheng then stood up and picked up his suitcase, and said, I want to inform you in advance that my level is still very low, I've barely reached the qualifying score for the preliminary round. If you haven't prepared before, that's already quite good. Tao Fei picked up the marking pen again, Lin Yujing's current level is probably enough to make it into the provincial team steadily. Cool. Li Zheng's lips curled up as he walked out with his suitcase, starting today, I won't go easy on her. By the way, Tao Fei suddenly looked up, when you have a chance, try to persuade Zhang Qinghua too, he's having a tough time. After leaving the physics research group, Li Zheng's next stop was still not back to class. Instead, he lugged his suitcase upstairs. All the way up to the 4th floor. Along the way, the faces of the students in the hallway were panicked. All were wondering, who is this handsome dude? Li Zheng walked to the door of senior year class 1, placed his suitcase down, and stepped in confidently. The classroom was full of chatter and laughter, but as this figure burst in, the noise suddenly stopped, and everyone froze. Amidst the stunned silence, Li Zheng walked straight to Su Menxi's desk. Su Menxi, as usual during her lunch break, was dozing off cuddling a Totoro pillow. Li Zheng just smiled and then took out the shiny National Finals gold medal, quietly slipping the ribbon over her neck from behind, placing the medal silently on the desk in front of her. That way, when she woke up and looked up, she would naturally discover the medal had been crowned upon her. Li Zheng was about to leave when Xiao Bixia in the back row finally pointed and opened her mouth wide, Li. SHH. Li Zheng raised his hand to gesture for silence and winked, let's talk on the court. Are you, Provoking me? Xiao Bixia's body shook, her fists balled, and with a vicious laugh, she said, "It's been a while since I've taught you a lesson, kid, I've been quite frustrated. Then brace yourself because my stamina now can last half an hour without getting winded," Li Zheng boasted, and as he walked away, he advised those around, "Don't disturb her." In a field of bewildered gazes, he had left the classroom. It wasn't until Li Zheng had walked away with his suitcase that the class reacted to what had happened. That was Li Zheng. Why does he seem like the Terminator? Could it be that he's invented a time machine? Damn, he's really turned into a tough guy. The gold medal, did he really give it to Mensi? Amidst the uproar, Su Mensi shifted irritably and began to mutter in her sleep. G University, G University, G University. Chapter 184. You should know, homeroom teachers also come in different types. There are classic intimidating types like Hu Chunmiai. And there are also laissez-faire types like Zhu Hongbo. Of course, there are bound to be approachable types like Tang's Haifei. However, approachable types tend to fare quite tragically. Simply because, the more approachable you are, the less students fear you, and they might even turn to bully you. Therefore, whether in schools or in companies, the survival rate of the approachable types is often quite low. Tang's Haifei managed to survive till this day because she employed a specific tactic which involved focusing on certain points to cover the surface. To control a general class, you only need to control 5 core individuals, and these 5 entities should be able to influence over 20 others, which would stabilize the foundation. Currently, the 5 core individuals in the class were Zhang Qinghua, Li Zheng, Zhang Xiaoke, Lu Yuexuan, and the discipline monitor. They were all Tang's Haifei's people. Besides, there would always be those who were impossible to control no matter what. Like the English class representative, Chen Jinyu, despite her young age of only 17 or 18, her mindset was akin to a middle-aged woman in society, proud and arrogant, not submitting to anyone, much like a Yu Hong among the students. For such students, it's best to stick to the principle of you don't trouble the waters of my river, and I won't trouble the waters of your well. The other troubles, like those with Zhang Yu, were just within the charm range of Zhang Qinghua, and indirect management through the class president was sufficient. The classroom was like a battlefield, and during the lunch break, it was all mind games. Tang's Haifei only needed to set up her strategies, then being approachable was enough. Indeed, this tactic was effective, for every Monday at noon, the students would gather and chat about this and that. Even if there was nothing to talk about, Zhang Qinghua and Zhang Xiaoke would still force a conversation to keep the atmosphere lively. Like right now. Tang's Haifei was sitting at Li Zheng's desk, next to her Zhang Xiaoke was eagerly putting on an expectant look. Isn't there any event for Christmas, Teacher Tang? The principal doesn't advocate celebrating Christmas, and besides, aren't we collaborating with City First School for the New Year's Gala this year? Tang's Haifei turned and asked, by the way, how are the 2 performances we sent for selection coming along? Just talking about this makes me angry, as they are all unreported, Zhang Xiaoke complained about those around her before sighing, no choice, in the end, Qinghua and I had to take it up. From behind, Lu Xian joined in the conversation, I remember, Qinghua is performing a solo on the flute, right? Next to him, Zhang Qinghua flicked her hair and chuckled with her hair flying, hair like snow, I've already practiced it. Really looking forward to it, Tang's Haifei flicked off the hair on her sleeve and commented earnestly, but with the flute, perhaps hair like snow might be more suitable? It's definitely more ancient style. I don't like that song. Zhang Qinghua's face stiffened, then she turned to face Zhang Xiaoke. Xiaoke, what have you prepared? Oh boy, I just randomly put together a solo dance. Zhang Xiaoke licked her lips and tapped her own head, such a crude program might just get eliminated. Hey, don't sell yourself short, Zhang Qinghua flipped her hair back and laughed, let's all try our best, hoping both performances make it through. We can't let number 1 middle school in the city overshadow us. As they were speaking, Zhang Yu leaned over and glanced at the empty seat by the window. Anyway, didn't the principal ask Lin Yujing to come up with a performance? Isn't she supposed to be able to do anything? Exactly, seated opposite and filing her nails, Chen Jinyu also scoffed, despite always being top-ranked, she's never there when it's time to earn honors for the school. Tang's Haifei frowned, finding such provocative class gossip rather annoying. But as an approachable homeroom teacher, since she had chosen to chat with the students, it wasn't appropriate to overtly suppress them. At times like this, it was necessary for the spokesperson hidden among the masses to step forward. Tang's Haifei quickly signaled Zhang Qinghua with her eyes. Go. Zhang Qinghua immediately got the gist. She too furrowed her brow and said, Lin Yujing prefers to keep a low profile, and she's also preparing for the physics competition, let's not talk about her anymore. Zhang Yu retorted, don't you have to prepare too? Upon hearing that, Zhang Qinghua only stiffened her face, now sounding quite authoritative. Seeing this, Zhang Yu immediately blushed, waved her hand, and shrank back, let's forget about Lin Yujing. After accomplishing her task, Zhang Qinghua didn't forget to pass a look to Zhang Xiok. Next up, go. Zhang Xiok immediately grabbed Tang's Haifei's arm and started cooing, Teacher Tang, when exactly is the final exam? It's not set yet, around January 15th though. It's the big comprehensive science exam this time, right? After some cooperation, the topic quickly shifted, and Tang's Haifei's routine worked once again. She didn't hesitate and took the opportunity to talk about the arrangements for the final exam. This final exam will be a district-wide test, so you all need to take it seriously. The final rankings are very informative and can even indirectly show everyone's rankings in the entire city. Moreover, our school's ranking will also have some impact on next year's evaluation for becoming a model school. You all want your alma mater to become a key school in the city, right? After her speech, Tang's Haifei was ready to answer the students' questions, but nobody spoke up. The classroom had somehow become silent. Everyone was staring blankly at one spot. Tang's Haifei could feel that they were looking behind her. What's going on? Tang's Haifei suddenly turned around. All she saw was a face with a faint stubble, the face of a burly man. There were also a leather jacket and leather boots. Is this a student? Li Zheng! Tang's Haifei exclaimed as she stood up. Don't worry about me, did you just mention district-wide rankings? Li Zheng couldn't help but rub his hands and lick his lips, so, does that mean we will be ranked with number 4 middle school, the experimental school, and normal university-affiliated school? Yes. Tang's Haifei hurriedly moved aside, sorry for taking your seat. No problem, you sit, continue chatting. Li Zheng simply sat on his own luggage, then subconsciously looked towards the window. Lin Yujing's backpack and down jacket were there, but she was not. He glared. She couldn't have taken advantage of my absence. To occupy the garden gazebo, right? Damn, what a loss. While he was glaring, Zhang Qinghua also stood up and started glaring. How come you, again, changed your style? Oh, this. Li Zheng casually stroked his spiky short hair, this tryout, I have to thank Zhang Tai. Wow, master. Zhang Xiok suddenly leaped forward, using the amnesia tackle again. Li Zheng was sent flying again, landing straight into Lu Xin's arms. Luckily, Lu Xin was a good cushion. Falling down, felt comfortable. Xiok, you. Tang's Haifei forcefully patted Zhang Xiok's head, you can't do this even if you're happy. Aha! Zhang Xiok quickly stuck out her tongue, stepping forward to help Li Zheng up. Sorry, got too excited. Others didn't know, but Li Zheng saw clearly. As Zhang Xiok said these words, her facial expression was rigid, her eyes sharp, as if saying, I'm going to kill you. Li Zheng swallowed hard, barely got on his feet. Lu Xin, however, did not see this look, only asking, what's Zhang Tai? Why should you thank him? Zhang Tai department store, it's pretty famous. Li Zheng responded stiffly. Hey! Chen Jinyu across put down her nail clipper, casually asking, a joint New Year's event with City First School, aren't you doing a performance? Oh? City First School. Li Zheng looked quite surprised. Mount Hua sect actually lowering themselves to hold a disciple conference together with our Lake Ying fisherman gang? It's all because of you, Chen Jingyi laughed. Because I helped Shi Yang, their principal insisted on returning the favor. They claimed it was a joint New Year's event, but actually, they were the ones who paid for the venue. That's pretty good, too, Li Zheng nodded. Forget about the act, aside from studying, I don't really have any special talents. Do you play any instruments? Chen Jingyu turned his head and continued, I play the piano, if you want to perform, we could collaborate. No, I don't. How about singing? Chen Jingyu asked further. No, I don't. If all else fails, how about reciting poetry? Chen Jingyu could hardly contain himself. It's better than playing the flute anyway, seriously, hair like snow. Zhang Qinghua shook his head, feeling offended. At this time, Zhang Xiok bounced in front of Li Zheng, raising her arm to protect him. Enough already, give my master a break. The selection for the act is tomorrow, and we're running out of time, she said. I was just asking. Just then, a rare character suddenly appeared at the classroom door. Ha, Li Zheng, you're back and didn't say a word. Lu Xiaodong waved and called out cheerfully, come on, Xiao Tang, you come too. Out of respect for the principal, Li Zheng had no choice but to go out with Tang's Haifei, following Lu Xiaodong to the principal's office. As they walked, Lu Xiaodong hugged Li Zheng and started chatting. That Yu Hong told me everything. First in the national competition, the second in the training camp, not bad at all. Thank you for making history for our school. ICHO, it's just destiny, don't take it to heart if it doesn't happen. Forget about their stupid rule of one student per province, I'll figure something out. But the chances aren't great, just focus and study at your own pace, that's fine. And then, Lu Xiaodong turned to Tang's Haifei, we will definitely support you all out in the physics competition too, and if necessary, we can even stop classes for training. Yes, I'll make sure to inform all the teachers as well, Tang's Haifei responded. That's not necessary, Li Zheng declined. I actually prefer the school environment, I feel more comfortable studying here. Of course, that's fine, Lu Xiaodong laughed, patting Li Zheng on the back. I get it, I understand everything, after all, it's only in school where, right, haha. Only at school, what? Oh, Lu Xiaodong turned back to Tang's Haifei again, chuckling, you see, he's still pretending. Tang's Haifei turned his face, feeling an urge to swear. At first, it was you who asked me to crack down on puppy love. Now, you're the ones furiously giving your support. From classmates to parents. From the boy's father to the girl's mother. From the vice principal to the principal. It's all people from Li Zheng's circle. Even Sun Xiaobin has gone off to stir the pot. So, I'm the villain here, right? Fine. I don't care anymore. Do whatever you like. Meanwhile, at the library on the first floor, a girl in a large white hoodie was dozing off. But the size was not the point. The color was not the point either. Not even the girl was the point. The focus was all on the hood. More precisely, on the cat ears on the hood. Because of the presence of two upright fluffy cat ears on the hood. This was bound to be a milestone of a nap. For Lin Yujing, every Monday at noon, the classroom was very noisy. She had to come to the library to nap just to avoid Tang's Haifei. Listening to earphones, dozing off with her hood on. Falling asleep. The left cat ear on the hood was suddenly tugged. She didn't care. She twisted her head and continued to sleep. Soon, the right ear was tugged again. She was annoyed and twisted her head again. Then, both ears were tugged at the same time. Whoosh! She got angry. She sat up straight. She looked at the old man opposite her, rubbed her eyes, and then glared back at him. Her eyes were full of sleep inertia. You're back, the old man leaned back in his chair and quietly started peeling an apple. He's back, the old man raised his eyebrows. What's that got to do with me? Lin Yujing face planted on the table, put her hood on, and continued to doze off. Hey, you should at least care about your classmates, the old man muttered, sighing. Men have their vulnerable moments. During such times, they are often in most need of, never mind, I won't say it. Lin Yujing lay there, not speaking. The old man also fell silent. After a minute of deadlock, Lin Yujing suddenly took off her earphones, lay in her original spot, and intermittently asked, most in need of, what? I can't quite explain it, but they just really need someone to care, the old man continued to suggest. I can imagine he's pretending to be strong now, but inside, he's probably hoping for comfort more than anyone, alas, what a pity. What a pity about what? Lin Yujing asked as she lay there. Come on, sit up and have an apple, the old man extended the peeled apple. Lin Yujing hesitated for a moment, then reached out for the apple, grabbed the chair and turned 180 degrees away from the old man, and started munching on the apple, what exactly is the pity? He the old man picked up another apple and started peeling. This kid, he finished second in the training camp, far ahead of third, but because only one person per province can join the national team, he still got eliminated and had to come back. Seems he won't be going to the ICHO anymore. Lin Yujing's body shook, her mouth full of apple as she excitedly turned back. Really Why are you so happy about this? Tisk. Lin Yujing turned back around, biting harder into the apple. I hate chemistry What's your hate got to do with him? The old man asked, puzzled. Lin Yujing, munching on her apple, mumbled, if he went to the ICHO, he'd get noticed by foreign schools and if he couldn't resist, he'd end up in magnesium country Magnesium country in chemistry, the worst of the worst Ah, you've already thought this far ahead. The old man smacked his lips, but he must be feeling a bit down, right? At a time like this, you schadenfreude might not be very nice. Not like he's seeing it True. It would still be better to offer some comfort though. I don't care. His insistence on studying chemistry deserves it Chapter 185. This, Li Zheng, I know you're already very tired. But there are two things that I must ask for your help with. Consider it me, Lu Xiaodong, pleading with you. First, there will be media people coming for an interview later, and I need you to cooperate with them. It's not easy for Lake Ying Middle School to have produced someone like you over the years. If you don't want to talk much, that's fine, but letting them take a few photos would be good, what do you think? Lu Xiaodong's posture was so humble that Li Zheng found it hard to refuse any more. Okay, Li Zheng responded, just arrange everything at once, and then no more arrangements in the future. No problem, Lu Xiaodong immediately relaxed a bit, leaning back in his chair and wiping his forehead. Then the second thing, on December 31st at the Capital Gymnasium, we, along with City First School, are doing a joint New Year's Eve program. You and Lin Yujing, as the absolute faces of our school, it would be great if you two could put together a performance. This time not only was Li Zheng baffled, but Tang's Haifei was bewildered as well. Principal, you're really putting your life into this assist. Using official matters as an excuse, forcing an assist. Don't I, the class advisor, have any dignity? But I don't really have any special talents, Li Zheng frowned and pondered. I can't sing, can't dance, I could play basketball, do I have to perform a dribbling routine? Isn't there something like a freestyle basketball performance? Lu Xiaodong suggested, if you're good enough, playing basketball isn't out of the question. But I'm only accurate in shooting, Li Zheng gestured with his hand. How about I go and shoot 100 3-pointers? That might not be a good idea. Lu Xiaodong pursed his lips. You have to consider Lin Yujing, too, since you're performing together. She can play basketball, too. No, how did it come to basketball again? Lu Xiaodong scratched his head, then looked at Tang's Haifei. How about you arrange a poetry recitation for the two of them? Ha! Tang's Haifei coldly retorted, I'm not knowledgeable enough, you should seek someone more capable. Come on, cooperate a bit, Lu Xiaodong said helplessly, this request, it's actually not from me, it's from the old principal. Upon hearing this, Tang's Haifei first panicked, then became colder. Go ahead, make a mess of it. Discipline is whoever's concern now. How about this? Lu Xiaodong decided, Li Zheng, why don't you discuss with Lin Yujing? At worst, you could just do a poetry recitation, right? It's not that difficult. This. Li Zheng rubbed his chin in thought, Lin Yujing's linguistic capability is quite limited, reciting poetry might be a bit difficult. Tang's Haifei nodded repeatedly beside him, she can write poetry, but not recite it. Lu Xiaodong rubbed his forehead, then suddenly got an idea, I remember Lin Yujing's profile mentioned she has a musical talent, so let her provide the musical accompaniment. Also, I've seen the video of Zhang Qinghua from your class playing the flute, he's really good. If necessary, include him too, to round it off. Lu Xiaodong felt more and more pleased with his own idea as he spoke, finally clapping his hands excitedly, that's settled then, musical accompaniment to a poetry recitation. But, Principal, Tang's Haifei advised, Li Zheng is fine to negotiate with, but Lin Yujing might not be as easy and we should respect her personal wishes. Yes, I'm having Li Zheng discuss it, aren't I? Lu Xiaodong winked at Li Zheng, All right, I'm leaving the task to you. The pride of our whole school rests on you. Failing is no big deal, it's just me losing face, not a major issue. The pressure was immense. I'll try my best, Li Zheng stiffly nodded. Basketball still seems like the safer bet. Still thinking about basketball. Basketball is not out of the question, but it's harder to control. Lu Xiaodong reluctantly turned to Tang's Haifei, so, Xiao Tang, the choice and rehearsal of this program is up to you. You should hurry and get the keys to the music room, let them try to find their tune there first. Don't call Zhang Qinghua yet, only ask for his help if really necessary. Tang's Haifei blankly nodded, his emotions most spent, only feeling a kind of nihilistic freedom. Another bizarre task added. Never mind how forceful the principal's assist was. What did Zhang Qinghua do to deserve this? Being able to play the flute isn't his fault. Is it necessary to be this drastic? After giving the instructions, as Li Zheng was about to leave, Lu Xiaodong suddenly remembered something else and stood up to chase after him, asking, "Oh right, that thing, did you receive the gold medal?" Li Zheng truthfully replied, "It was given away." "Ah. Yes. This." Lu Xiaodong scratched his head, "Can I ask who you gave it to?" "Was it teacher Yu Hong?" "It was another selfless teacher who guided me." Li Zheng felt a bit embarrassed. "Teacher Yu is already my official guide. As for the gold medal, a small souvenir, I took the liberty of giving it to that nameless teacher, sorry." "No problem, that's your personal item." Lu Xiaodong inquired reluctantly, "Then, what about the award certificate?" "I've got that," Li Zheng nodded, "I don't need it, so it might as well stay at the school." "Oh, how can I accept this?" Lu Xiaodong laughed heartily, not forgetting to remind Tang's Haifei, "Don't forget, get the keys to the music classroom for them." Class 1, Senior Year. Su Mensi stretched and stood up. Suddenly feeling something heavy on her neck. She looked down. Wow! A gold medal? Incredulously, Su Mensi picked up the gold medal. National High School Chemistry Competition First Prize. Chinese Chemical Society. Amidst her shock, her fingers touching the back of the medal felt some engravings. She hurriedly flipped it over, and had to squint and bring the medal close to see. Persistence may not realize a dream, but it surely approaches excellence. An ordinary medal, for a teacher who refuses to be ordinary. From Li Zheng, the student who thought he was ordinary even when he was not. Su Mensi suddenly covered her mouth. Her eyes immediately became red and damp. I only loaned you a few notebooks. How did it come to this? Should I be ordinary, or not ordinary? To the people around her, after a long wait, Su Mensi finally came to her senses, and the crowd couldn't wait to swarm around her. "Hey, why are you crying? What does it say exactly? You didn't see, the puppy evolved. Come on, let me see what the gold medal looks like." Facing the crowd that had gathered around her, Su Mensi recoiled and fiercely guarded the medal at her chest. "I won't let you see it." After leaving the principal's office, Li Zheng rushed toward the staircase, planning to head straight for the library. As he flew down the stairs 3 or 4 at a time, he brushed past a white shadow. Li Zheng's nose twitched, and he subconsciously stopped on the stairs between the second and first floor, freezing in place. It wasn't that he saw anything, but he smelled something fluffy, which made his nose itch a little. The figure in the white hoodie also paused at the top of the second floor stairs, seemingly sensing something as well. Both turned their heads stiffly at the same time, one looking up, the other looking down. Ah! Li Zheng, seeing the figure in the cat ear hoodie, was instantly dumbstruck and couldn't say a word. Lin Yujing, seeing the Li Zheng who resembled the campus terminator, naturally lost her words as she always did. 24 days. They hadn't seen each other for exactly 24 days. Although they both roughly knew how the other had spent those 24 days. When they actually looked into each other's eyes, they were still stupefied. For Lin Yujing, Li Zheng's image had undergone a radical change. If before, he was barely a disliked, dull blockhead. Now, he exuded the aura of a scumbag from head to toe. The lowest kind, the motorcycle riding fitness trainer type scumbag. For Li Zheng. Cat ears. Cat ears. Cat ears. The two stared blankly at each other for a long time. Lin Yujing's blank look was from not knowing how to mock Li Zheng's image appropriately. Li Zheng's blank look was just because of cat ears, cat ears, cat ears. In this moment of stupefaction, other students walking up and down the stairs kept their distance, sticking close to the walls. It seemed like getting between them would be lethal. This was probably the closest they ever got to being like Yegukan and Ximen Chui Shuet. After a long pause, Lin Yujing finally spoke, "You, how did you become such a scumbag?" Li Zheng shuddered in shock. 24 days without seeing each other. 24 days. Do you know how I spent these 24 days? I spent every day solving chemistry problems with 39 buzzcut guys. During these 24 days, you didn't even send a greeting. Of course, I didn't greet you either. But I'm already this miserable, and you call me a scumbag the moment you see me? Am I really that bad? Thinking more and more, Li Zheng's eyes widened, and he realized. In the eyes of ordinary people, my journey to Liudong was indeed an extraordinary achievement. But in the eyes of people like Master Yet, what does it really amount to? Right now, in front of her, there's nothing. Just a loser who can't even make it to the ICHO. Damn! I am such a scumbag. Just as Li Zheng lifted his head, trying to look at Lin Yujing and say something, he was again caught in a trembling stupor. Cat ears, cat ears, cat ears. Frightened, Lin Yujing quickly covered the ears on her hoodie. Don't look. Before Li Zheng could react, she turned and ran away. When she was gone, Li Zheng finally came to his senses, leaning against the wall and gasping for air, while he wiped his mouth. No, the allure of those cat ears was too powerful. Just looking at them, he couldn't speak a word. Scumbag or not is another question. But with her in that get-up standing there, how could the principal's task be completed? Carrying his worries, Li Zheng, afraid of losing control again, did not dare to return to the classroom immediately. While calming his emotions, he headed towards the sports field. To take a walk, to calm the mind. He couldn't afford to see that thing again and be rendered speechless and unable to move. During his moment of closed-eye reflection, he again saw the long-missed relaxation interface. The vitality gained from flirtatious relaxation was skyrocketing. After 24 days of meltdown in Buzzcut Hell, a strong rebound had arrived. So it seems, this image is still acceptable, hey? Just look all you want, I'm done keeping score. Total vitality rate, 6.4. A minute later. Total vitality rate, 8.2. Another minute later. Total vitality rate, 11.7. Yet another minute later. Today's flirtatious relaxation has reached the 1.5-hour limit. Sigh. Li Zheng sighed deeply. With this current image, just coming out for a walk every day would suffice. So bland. Just as he was about to turn around and head back to the academic building, an unexpected prompt popped up. Upon reaching the limit, the accumulated wasted relaxation vitality exceeds 500 hours. Unparalleled follow-up task initiated, unparalleled 2. Oh. Li Zheng jumped on the spot. 500 hours? When did I waste so much relaxation vitality? Lately, besides continuing to relax after reaching the limit while painting, there hasn't been much of a chance to breach the limits. Could it be? Could it be? Because I'm too handsome? Even normal walking could unwittingly stir many people's heartstrings? Unknowingly, I wasted 500 hours? Given the situation, I can only reluctantly accept this outcome. Unparalleled 2, after accepting the task, all relaxation projects will have no vitality limits for 10 minutes. Please restore 500 hours of vitality within these 10 minutes. Reward, 30 game coins. Choose and obtain one unparalleled title. 1. History textbook. Choose a historical book with fewer than 10 million characters, and comprehensively understand and memorize it. 2. Biology prints. Choose biological materials with fewer than 2 million characters, and comprehensively understand and memorize them. 3. Senior programmer. Choose development manuals for 3 programming languages, and comprehensively understand and memorize them. Li Zheng didn't know why, but he fixated on senior programmer. Facing this situation, most people would probably do the same. But this can be considered later. The key issue is still restoring 500 hours within 10 minutes, which is rather terrifying. Last time, it was 100 hours in 15 minutes. The intensity was equivalent to stamping Lin Yujing 40 times a second, continuously for 15 minutes, totaling 36,000 times. This time, it has escalated to 300 stamps a second, continuous for 10 minutes, totaling 180,000 stamps. This intensity has reached an unimaginable level. Previously, even pulling in an entire grade of people and playing at a divine level barely met the mark. And that cost a broken leg. This time, the losses might be even more severe. In his contemplation, Li Zheng naturally thought of the upcoming New Year's celebration. Well, City First School is a good school. And a large one too. There must be a lot of people. Seeing this, the New Year's celebration seems like a great opportunity. Could it be? I really have to perform basketball? Li Zheng quickly opened the Relaxation Interfaces skill tab, searching for basketball-related skills. Regrettably, they were all practical and didn't include things like freestyle basketball or street basketball master. Li Zheng frowned deeply. In that case, it could only rely on the performance. But this, no matter how you look at it, is boring and nowhere near as exciting as a basketball challenge. Imagine this Zhang Qinghua playing the flute solo. How cold that scene would be. Should I, then, twist the principal's will and switch the New Year's gala to a basketball showdown? Ding ding ding. The warning bell interrupted Li Zheng's thoughts. Although Li Zheng was free within the school, skipping class was something he ultimately couldn't bring himself to do. He decided to think during the class instead. If he remembered correctly, the first class in the afternoon was biology, which was perfect for doing strange things. Li Zheng had indeed remembered correctly, the first class in the afternoon was indeed biology. As the absent-minded, bespectacled biology teacher who entered the classroom, everyone started doing strange things. Li Zheng's original plan was to think of a strategy to cope with the unparalleled challenge. But once he returned to the classroom, he couldn't help but look in that direction. The temptation of those ears was too great. By the window, Lin Yujing was simply lying on the desk reading a book, without wearing a hoodie. This was quite considerate towards biology teacher Hu. But who knew if she might find it noisy or cold during the class and suddenly decide to put it on? Thinking these thoughts, Li Zheng's mind gradually grew restless, and although the class had been going on for 5 or 6 minutes, he hadn't spent even a minute on the actual topic. Next to him, Zhang Xiaok, who had been rapidly solving math problems, suddenly spoke. 13 times. Hey! You've glanced at Jing 13 times. Though Zhang Xiaok was talking, her hand didn't stop moving at all. She hadn't listened to a word of the biology class. Ahem. Li Zheng, feeling a bit embarrassed, patted his chest and took a deep breath before scolding Zhang Xiaok, focus on your work, don't get distracted. It's so hard to stay focused. Zhang Xiaok's pen suddenly stopped, and just like Li Zheng, she stared in that direction, her face somewhat twisted. Those cat ears, how can anyone resist? Is she going to wear them or not? Oh! Li Zheng swallowed, you too. I like dogs, but... Zhang Xiaok grimaced and sighed, the dog faction is really rare, doesn't anyone pity us? Such provocation makes it impossible to concentrate on the problems. Indeed. Li Zheng empathized, and guiltily lowered his head, gripping the volleyball junior in his hands. During a perfectly good biology class, I haven't even looked at the comics much. In front of the class, biology teacher who had been looking down at his book, suddenly raised his head. Those students chatting, please keep it down a little, so as not to disturb those sleeping, I mean, not to disturb the other students. Li Zheng and Zhang Xiaok promptly quieted down. Poor biology teacher. To clear his mind and to encourage the biology teacher, Li Zheng promptly closed his comic book and stared directly at the teaching podium. Just this once, listen to it once. But just as Li Zheng was about to listen, footsteps unique to the head of discipline echoed from the hallway. Clang! Sun Xiaobin pushed the door open. The TV crew is here, they've arrived. Sun Xiaobin called out to the students and then turned to the biology teacher, you over there, go busy yourself with something else, the Jiajing news will be shooting in class 4. Oh, it's about Li Zheng winning the championship, right? Biology teacher who hurriedly got up from his desk, organizing the podium while telling the students, everyone wake up, we're going to be on TV, look lively. Instantly, those who were dozing off straightened up. Those doing strange things finally stopped as well. It was the first time everyone was so obedient, and teacher who was stunned, even somewhat moved. This might have been the most powerful sentence of his teaching career. Soon, various groups stormed into class 2 to 4. It wasn't just Jiajing TV station, but also Jiajing Youth News, Jiajing Evening News, and Tengsuan News College Entrance Examination Channel among other media. With such a large assembly, naturally, it had something to do with Lu Xiaodong's arrangements, but it wasn't all just his doing. Although there are chem competitions every year, it was rare for someone from Jiajing school to take the national first place. Moreover, this champion came from a relatively ordinary and lesser-known school, which added to the news value. Seeing so many reporters and cameramen coming in, the class also started to buzz. For most people, appearing on TV didn't hold any particular significance. But they really wanted to be on it. Lu Xin turned to look at the cameras at the back of the classroom and started drooling, "Holy crap, holy crap. Our family has never been on TV. What are you so excited about? We're just the background." Despite saying this, Zhang Qinghua straightened his collar and smoothed his pompous parting, "Hey, do you think they might interview the class president? And the vice president too?" Zhang Xiaok also packed up her math problems and switched to a chemistry book. Chen Jinyu in the front row even took out a makeup mirror and started applying makeup. Meanwhile, just as the cameraman was about to set up the camera, Sun Xiaobin suddenly shouted, "School uniform! Li Zheng, where's your school uniform?" "Ah!" Li Zheng was also stunned, looking down at his leather jacket. This tough guy image was indeed inappropriate. "You there?" Sun Xiaobin quickly pointed at Zhang Qinghua, "Your build is similar to Li Zheng's, hurry up and swap clothes with him, you stay out of the camera." "Ah!" Zhang Qinghua shuddered at the command. "Why me again? Why do things always happen to me? Hurry up, hurry up." Zhang Xiaok licked her lips and urged from behind, "Don't waste everyone's time." Although her words were more or less the same, Zhang Xiaok was a person whose expressions matched her intentions, revealing her ambition completely. Just to exclude the official class president. The TV station would have no choice but to interview the vice president. Faced with such urging, Zhang Qinghua could only stand up begrudgingly. "Nice one, Zhang Xiaok, don't you remember who promoted you?" Little did one expect that the hearts of high school students could also be so vicious.